behold you as my King, for your glory, for your glory. I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as our King, and for your glory. I would do anything just to see you.
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Book.
Wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. Come on, it's so simple. That's all it says. I wanna be where you are. Is this a cry of your heart this evening? I gotta be where you are. Yeah, I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. Lord, gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. God, I gotta be where you are. God, I wanna be where you are. I gotta be where you are. Wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. For your glory, I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as our King, for your glory. I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King, for your glory, for your glory. I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as our King,
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT.
Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody.
Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
In Trinidad and Tobago, there are so many things to talk about. Social issues, injustice, child abuse, domestic violence, political scandals, and much more. On HOTP, we will cover all that and much more. Don't forget, you can catch us every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Hot off the press. Hot topics, no filter.
Pastor Hannah A. Pabu of Holy Spirit Ministries will be live on the Street 919 FM every Wednesday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. In the scripture, Matthew 19, verse 26, the Bible says, "But Jesus looked at them and said to them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Pastor Hannah is here to motivate you, challenge you, encourage you to walk in your purpose and destiny God has for you. For prayer and counseling, call Pastor Hannah at 728-5197.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959 to 814723 or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ill, and you could get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the host of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
The journey's almost
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Well, a pleasant good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Titans of Democracy right here on the street, 919 FM. Let me thank the Heavenly Father for bringing me here safe, sound, and all together in one piece. Pleasant good morning going out to my entire family. Good morning to the lovely Miss Sharon Felix, Mr. Dominic Romain, and their entire families. Good morning to you, all our callers, all our listeners, all of our viewers online. For those of you that are always locked on with us, it's always a pleasure to have you guys right here on the inside. We say good morning going out to my friends and family in Tobago. Tobago, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Also saying good morning to the management and staff of the street 919 FM. Good morning to Mr. Iwer George and his entire family. So let me take this time quickly to say good morning to Mr. Dominic Romain. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning, sir. Morning.
Yes, we had just a bit of a late start. I had some technical challenges, let me say, but everything should be up and running properly now. I'm sure that you guys are seeing us live on the Street 919 FM's Facebook page, also on YouTube at Iwer TV live broadcast on the Street 919 FM. So at this time, just going to open up the lines for a little bit and take some of your morning greetings. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Hey, Mano, how you doing?
Morning, Dominic. Well, boy, I wake up this morning, spiritually, blessed and well. Little under the weather, as a human nature. Yeah, man. Good morning to all Trinidadian, wherever you might be around the world. There's somebody turn on the radio that Bruce is on, 91.9. Morning to everybody who listens to me. This is Mano. Good morning to 1285 Passy Street. Good morning to Gail Spen. Good morning to Miss Jean. Good morning to Oman Over. Good morning to you, Miss Faisabal. Good morning, Miss Tunapuna, Jenny and Jack, Jenny and Kyle. Good morning. Jackie and Jackie, good morning. Good morning to Samaman. How are you doing? Deep South, somebody looking for a bow lady looking for she ain't any at all. She may be a good or bad, whatever. So I couldn't remember your number to give she anyway. So good morning to the people of Bonnet Gardens and Mount Hope. Morning, Vero. Morning to everybody who those I could remember. Love to everybody. Mr. Chance, Mr. Bataria, Mr. Student, Joseph. Tobago, morning. Love to everybody. The man on the hill. Love to everybody. Who's going to talk to you guys later? You know, when you're sleeping still? Yeah, man. But love is the answer. Give somebody something and say nothing about it. Now is the time for giving. Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, man, good morning to you, and I hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah, man.
Spending with your family. And, well, parents and family. Well, I just want to say good morning to the management staff, all the callers and listeners throughout the world, and Mr. Bartaria, Mr. Marabella, you know the thing, Mr. Grandi, and Mr. Roger and his family, a prison officer who lived by me. He always telling me I'm a saying name, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, good morning to everyone. And what I want to tell you today is people who loves you and the people who hates you are the same. And I'll explain. Because they will do anything. The ones who love you will do anything to protect you. And the ones who hate you will do anything to destroy you. So I want people to remember that. Have a blessed day, Bruce.
Yeah, man. Bless. Nice. So at this time, we're going to get into the papers, see what's taking place in our headlines. So, headlines in the Express: Triple Delight. Paul becomes first TNT athlete to win 3 medals at a single Commonwealth Games: gold, silver, and bronze. I would like to say a big thanks to God, because without him, this would not have been possible. Congratulations to you, Mr. Paul. Las Cuevas couple killer found dead. Okay, so let's get inside and see what's taking place. So, Triple Delight track cyclist Nicholas Paul became the first Trinidad and Tobago athlete to win 3 medals at a single Commonwealth Games when he won bronze in the men's. Hold on, let me get in quickly. Right. In the men's kilometer time trial yesterday, the 23-year-old Paul, who won gold on Saturday in the men's cairn and followed up with silver on Sunday in the men's sprint, clinched his 3rd medal at the Lee Valley Velo Park in London. Congratulations again to you. Las Cuevas couple killer found dead. Franklin Abel Clement, the suspect in Friday's love triangle murders of Las Cuevas couple Hollis and Shireen Valdez, was found dead in a forested area. Okay. Lawyers slam gang culture. Rescue the urban youths from the pervasive gang culture. Mom finds her son murdered in bed. The Emancipation Day holiday began with a murder. Nelson still has it at 91. Lord Nelson still got it. The venerable Calypsonian, real name Robert Nelson, celebrated his 91st year on earth excuse me, with a clock-turning, hip-shaking, chest-exposing performance on Saturday evening. Living in a danger zone, a St. James family is living with the fear that any moment their home can be destroyed by slipping soil. Telecom terror, Annan laments lack of national outrage over murder, shot in the head after digging his own grave. Thieves go underground for cables, TSCT service knocked out. And these are the stories making way in the Express at this time. Over to the Newsday. Teacher robbed in Rio Claro. Police seize gun, cash and cigarettes. Kamla, PNM disbanded National Repatriations Committee. THA Chief Sec, royal families must pay for slavery. Criminal Bar Association Lords Charles. Emancipation Day Parade returns. Prime Minister recovering steadily from COVID-19. Bella Antoine assumes office as UWI principal. Ministry of Health 80 new cases. No deaths. McCoy King lead West Indies to 5-wicket win over India. Decomposing body may be a recon double murder suspect. NGC conducting work on Rice Road. Man killed in Marabella. Paul secures Commonwealth bronze in time trial. Jean Samuel, cycling star Paul, a future Olympic medalist. Opposition leader, horrors of slavery must never be forgotten. Achille Charles' legal team condemns his murder. President's Emancipation Day message, remember passion of the slaves. Newsday columnist, prison reform activist, my memories of Achille J. Charles. Policeman charged with corruptly soliciting, receiving money. Prime Minister reflect on slavery's trauma. So these are the stories making way in the Newsday. Over to The Guardian. Headlines in The Guardian. Suspect found dead. Suspect in murder of couple found dead. The decomposing body of an African male discovered in a forested area off Rincon Road, Las Cuevas, yesterday morning has been unofficially identified as that of Franklin Abel Clement. COVID quarantine stalls probe into fatal Port of Spain police shooting. Investigation into death of PC Gleeks ongoing. Kamala promises to create a steel pan factory in TNT. Emancipation Support Committee, education key to becoming fully emancipated. A gift for emancipation, government moves to rename roads national and national spaces. Sinanan, 45 Maruga landslips repaired, but 64 more discovered. Probe continues into TSCT cable theft. Criminal Bar Association Lords Achille Charles. Woman among four held for robbery. Coconut vendor saves girlfriend before being gunned down. Cops increase security at Bessel Street Police Station. Media advocacy groups pay tribute to Tracy Hutchinson Wallace. Rat killed at Block 22 Lavantil. Church leaders target Laramie hotspots with anti-crime message. OPM press officer passes. TSTT most services restored following act of vandalism. Criminal Bar Association, Achille Charles fought to save younger generation from gang culture. These are the stories making way in The Guardian, The Express, and The Newsday at this time. So at this time, I hand it over to Mr. Dominic Romain. Dominic?
Yes, sir. Right. So morning to all. Morning. Just give me 1 second. Let me just check something here. Right. So good morning to all of the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. Morning to all the loyal trolls as well. Morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe, Mr. and Mrs. Regis, morning Angie. Morning to Mano, Mother Tunapuna, morning to Javier Andrews, morning Patsy Edwards, Nicole Caesar, morning to all of you guys as well, Alison Haynes, Alison Samuel. We have a lot of Alisons who listen to this program, Bruce. Yeah, plenty. Yeah. Different, some of them different spellings, but we have plenty of Alisons. Yeah. So to all of the Alisons who listen to us, good morning to you as well. To Arlene Lewis, morning. Good morning to you. Yeah. So, some interesting headlines there, Bruce.
Right.
Leader of the opposition plans to build a pan factory in Jannah. When? And the imaginary Trinidad where she will be Prime Minister again.
About a loose talk, yes.
Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there a pan factory in Laventille?
As far as I know.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
just opposite Fernandez.
Yeah. But I was going to ask about that and if that closed down, because the way she talked about pan factory.
Well, I was there quite recently, so I know it didn't close down. So, yes. Somebody needs to send the memo to the leader of the opposition. You see, when you're caught up in your feelings and you just want to talk off the cuff and you're trying to mama guy people, try and make sure you know what you're talking about before you see what you had to say now. Okay, you end up looking dotish afterwards. There's already a pan factory, man.
Foot and mouth syndrome.
Yeah. So the trolls UNC trolls on the live, you could maybe, remember the same way when she took the PNM to task for the kick out the PNM poster, the Photoshop poster that said land grabbing and how to get away with it, and she didn't know that was satire, and after she ran her mouth, somebody passed a piece of paper and said, that's fake, because we do that. Yeah? Well, you also put a piece of paper and let her know that there's already a pan factory in Trinidad and Tobago, right? And even if there was one, we'd probably be waiting 5 years, 3 months, and 14 days to get it, based on that promise, because the people of Labray is still waiting for the shipbuilding facility that she promised them to replace the smelter plant that she and her administration had cancelled. And she mama guide the people of Labray and say, don't worry, all yourself. All the jobs that you all lost and the potential income that you lost because of the stupidity of my administration in shutting down the smelter, which today would have been earning significant sums of money for the government of Trinidad and Tobago. All they who like to talk about diversification, and the only thing you could think about when you hear diversification is agriculture. Yeah, well, the smelter would have been earning us a lot of money today. Plant would have been up and running, and all the millions that we wasted on electricity that we couldn't use because TGU, it was a take-or-pay contract. Yeah. So the people of Labray still waiting on that shipbuilding facility, right? Okay. So, miss us with those promises, Mrs. Pasabi says. We know your track record when it comes to promises. Right. Speaking of Mrs. Pasabi Sessa, Bruce, not to be outdone, she was all over the place this weekend now. So I suppose maybe the last week or so she was resting in preparation to make her rounds with respect to Emancipation Day celebrations. So I see she attended, I'm looking at her Facebook page here, she attended a function in Marabella, and there she is dressed up in her African wear, head garb and all, taking lots of pictures, to mama guide the people. Yeah, look at me. After I tell earlier about earlier slave name the other day, look at me now, coming, the hypocrite that I am, playing and coming dressed up in African way. I think it was she who, when she was Prime Minister, I stand to be corrected, who warned, beware of those persons who come to you dressed in the way of your ancestors. Yeah. She should take her own advice. And you're not fooling anybody, madam. But yeah, all your platitudes and so on and your speech. I'm going to see if I find piece of it here. Not that I'm really inclined to read. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's just the part that highlights her hypocrisy. Today we honor, thank and celebrate the courage of our people to rise from the greatest injustice and crime of humanity to become cornerstones of our society. Emancipation Day also serves to remind us that of the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade must not be forgotten. Though it may be difficult and painful, it is imperative that the younger generations learn of the full scale of injustice, abuse, and racism on which the immoral system of chattel slavery was built. This is the only way to ensure that the evil ideology which views one race as superior to another is permanently consigned to the dustbin. Yeah? But yet still you, with your hypocritical mouth, just a few weeks ago, basically telling those of you who belong to an ethnicity where you still hold the names of your ancestors, well, mostly, because a lot of them from her ethnicity and her background who have their names, a lot of those names were created here, right? So that her ancestors could fit in. And so that a lot of these names aren't really original East Indian names or names that you would find in India today. They are names that are original to Trinidad. But yet still, in response to Camille Robinson Regis is mentioning your name, after you were so disrespectful to talk about your name was given to you by the slave master. So you should be ashamed of that. Right? And that is a millstone that you should wear around your neck. But I am proud of my ethnicity. I have my East Indian name from my ancestors. And then they come with this piece of hypocrisy here. And the persons of African descent in the UNC who will applaud that rubbish. And shame on all of you. Shame. But as I always say, the dogs in the UNC suffering from malnutrition because there's no shame to eat in that party. As evidence here by the, well, we know Pasabi says I didn't write this, right? It's just now I'm just waiting to see, or to hear somebody find the original speech, because you know they have a fashion for plagiarism, right? Somebody probably too lazy, get up yesterday morning at 8 shocks. Supposed to write a speech for Kamala. Let me see what I could find on the internet quickly. And just whoever sees the name of the other country, I'll put Trinidad. And stick that in. And yeah. Typical. So we're not surprised. Yeah? Did she participate in the emancipation session yesterday morning downtown? Dr. Oli wasn't there, of course, because he had COVID. But had that not been the situation, he would have been there, as is always the case every year, he and Mrs. Rowley. But in the absence of the Prime Minister, since you want to be the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister in waiting, why you didn't go? Okay, I figure it's a whole PNM crowd, and you would have get boo. Huh? Yeah? So, go from here. We do it here, don't come to look for no failure, go from here. She know better than to go down. Yeah. Now, as far as I'm aware, Bruce, that procession was open to all and sundry. I didn't see anybody from the United National Congress executive feature prominently on that walk. No, I didn't. Yeah, but it's all about national unity, and all about the coming together of all the races. Not one. Only him and the tokens, Jalen John, Wade Mark, Tahaka Obika, Sean Sobers, not one of them. Anita Haynes, what's this other one named Khadija Amin? Not one of them could have go to represent the UNC there yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Well, I didn't see any of them. I looked at the news, I saw clips on Facebook, I saw several videos with members of the government. I saw Foster Cummings, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Amy Brown, and others, most present. But again, I repeat, I saw nobody from the United National Congress. If there was any of them there, please, remember the trolls, you could tell us, send us a picture. Huh? What does that say about your party? And that's why we continue to say that the United National Congress is not a national party. You are not. You pretend to be when it is convenient. But you're only fooling members of the electorate. The rest of us, we are not fooled. We are not impressed. With your nonsense. And if it is in fact that none of you all could not even send one person yesterday to represent you at that procession, speaks volumes. And all it simply does is to reinforce what we already know. That you all are pretensive. You're not really for the African community. Yeah? Because yesterday was an excellent opportunity to put aside your differences and show up. And even that you all couldn't do, because why? You didn't understand the assignment. Typical UNC. We're not surprised. Yeah? We're not surprised. But then you all want to beat up on Dr. earlier. So I was listening to the Saturday show, Bruce. Well, I listened to the replay of it because I do listen to that anymore. Yeah? I don't have the patience or the mental space to listen to. I try my hardest, Bruce, not to use a derogatory to describe it. Right? I don't really want to talk on anybody else's program. So let me hold my tongue. Suffice it to say that the level of misinformation there, it's mind-numbing. But I heard a gentleman calling to say that whenever an occasion arises for Dr. Rowley to give to make an appearance or something, so to speak to the nation about unity or something, conveniently gets sick. As if. Really? And then I saw this other one, I saw some comment from a UNC person saying, well, so much time this man get COVID and he ain't dead yet. Yeah, that's the lengths to which they go. That's why we will continue to call it an ocean of deplorables. Don't worry, you'll get into the point of where I will elevate it to a planet of deplorables. Yeah, that's to tell you just how big you'll are. I want to encompass all, as many as I can. Because comments, nasty comments like that, it just goes to show. Yeah? Well, anyway, I think I saw this guy as well. The man, the leader of the PDP. I saw he too did a live to comment on Dr. Rowley's latest diagnosis with COVID. And, it's amazing that while they will criticize that this is the second time Dr. Rowley has been diagnosed with COVID, apparently something wrong with that. But presently, you also have the President of the United States of America also diagnosed with COVID for the second time. And his first diagnosis was far more recent than that of Dr. Rowley's. Yeah? But nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And here the leader of the PDP, he finds it interesting that Dr. Rowley could contract COVID when it is that he's in such a confined space, a closed space, and the people around him, and he has, whatever protection and so on and stuff. Dr. Rowley more protected than Joe Biden. Joe Biden tests every day. He gets tested for COVID every single day, even before he was diagnosed, right? That's just standard procedure for the president because he's the president, and if it is, every day. So how he gets it? And his circle is a little tighter than that of Dr. Rowley. It's not every and anybody could get into the White House. But it's okay, and anyway, Bruce, we'll give you a break free sometime. Seriously. I think I saved the live that he did, so I'll send it to you and then we'll play a little bit of it.
We have about a minute again before we go to the break.
And then I saw an article just now on Facebook with some woman by the name of Linda Capaldio, I think it is, chastising the president for calling for a museum in remembrance of the 1990 coup. And, she finds that is totally unnecessary and it'll waste some money and that and stuff. But, interestingly enough, these same people will go to New York and hop on the bus and go to the World Trade Center Memorial, right? To see the 9/11 Memorial. Yeah. It was erected in remembrance of 9/11. Yeah, I need to go and see that, and I want to take pictures. Look, man. Yes, look, man. Right, you see? A 9/11 Memorial. But in Trinidad here, the president is advocating for a museum. I know, president talking nonsense, and then that here, and all kind of foolishness, and then praising Farley for erecting some monument in Tavie. Yeah. Don't put a museum, but yes, she wants to praise Farley Moses. She changed it from Farley Chavez to Farley Moses Augustine, because apparently he's a liberator. He's liberating the people of Tobago. Really? Same Farley who said to have money to buy tea for no tea plate, no water, no juice when he attend a THA function. But I see now he's driving around in a brand new SUV, high-end SUV. So the BMW that was used for the past 2 or 3 chief sex, that ain't good enough for him. Nah, he needs to get a brand new SUV to ride high, yeah? And then take pictures, take photos all over the place when he get the little schoolboy the other day ride to school. Yeah, taking pictures and trying to get mileage off of a little boy. You did it out of the goodness of your heart. Why every time you do something like that, you need to have a whole camera crew behind you and then post it up all over social media. Yeah? What was really the point of that? That wasn't for the boy, that was for you to promote yourself, just like your political leader. Bunch of hypocrites. All they're fooling. But Tobago vote for that. That what they like. Yeah? Still waiting to see and hear what will the ex gratia payment. We are in August. Christmas in July just finished. So we know it wasn't that Christmas they were talking about, right? So let me see if I'll get for Christmas, the real Christmas 2022.
Oh, gosh.
Easy. Because all that.
Guys, we're going to
this thing and send it here.
And we will be right back. Keep it locked to the Street 919 FM. We'll be right back.
Yeah, tune. Yeah, keep it right there. Lower it down a little bit. Information again. Must give the information for this tune. You ready, Bugman? We went up Tabakit by a friend of mine named Jungle. And we end up 2 miles in the forest, 12 o'clock midnight. And we make a cook in a cabbage field. Right? Reach home about 4 o'clock in the morning. And wake up next morning. And when I walk in the next room, I see my wife ironing something. And I just watch she. And the song come into my head. And I just start to sing all kind of thing. I can't pull the note good. La 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 la. Na 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 na. Keep it low right there. Catch you. The way you walk, way you talk, way you smile. When you looked at me, girl, for a while, started blush like a child. But I ain't playing no games now. I will do anything for your love. Just say the word now. You're my day, you're my night, you're my sun, you're my rain, you're my world now. I've got to have you. I've got to hold you. I've got to squeeze you. I'm longing for your love, girl. I've got to have you. I've got to hold you. I've got to set my soul on fire. You set my soul on fire. You set my soul on fire. Na na na. You set my soul on fire. Yeah. Fire, fire. Fire, fire. Fire, fire. Na na na. The first time I saw your face, girl, I know that I met my bride now. Never felt this way for anyone. So real inside now. I can see myself taking strolls with you in the park now. Hugging up, kissing up, loving up. Let me go, let me go. I've got to have you. Got to hold you. I've got to squeeze you. I'm longing for you. I've got to have you. Got to hold you. I've got to win your heart. You set my soul on fire. Na na na. You set my soul on fire. Yeah, 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 yeah. You set my soul on fire. Na 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 na. You set my soul on fire. Fire. Aha. What a band song in sweet. KMC. Yes, Sammy.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for the program The Final Hour with Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr. and his wife Nikki Garcia for the Bible study every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mark chapter 16 verse 15 says, "Go into all the world and preach this gospel for every creature, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation."
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the old-time gospel hour all-night prayer. This and every Friday evening on the Street 919 FM from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, "He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God." Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Episodes, the Kuna Cruise, aboard the Sea Champion, King's Wharf, San Fernando, Saturday, July 30th, boarding 11 p.m., sailing 12 midnight. General tickets $250, early bird $200, and ladies, limited edition of 2 ladies on 1 ticket for $350. Bringing the vibe and energy to you, Anwadi Juggler, Richard Trumpet, and Brothers in Sound. Live performance by Optimistic. Party bus from Watersfield, pass at 9:30 p.m. For more info, WhatsApp 768-8182, 706-7130, or 317-3541. Fully endorsed by Evolution Creations and Stamina Promotions.
Hot Off the Press presents Aisha Wells' birthday bash. Come celebrate with Aisha on board the Embassy on August 13th. Boarding at the Hyatt Waterfront from 6:30 p.m. sharp. Featuring an all-star DJ cast. We're gonna have a good time celebrating with Aisha.
You're on board? We're talking about my birthday bash.
For tickets and more information, call Robert at 333-2181. Ulu at 730-3665.
It's my birthday. That's what we're talking about. Happy birthday to you.
Every Friday, it's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays with MC Duke Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays on the Street 919 FM. You don't know.
Tune into the Street 91.9 FM.
Every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
For the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinau Thomas.
The scripture says, and they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in.
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the Street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the Street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the Street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845-349-5178 or 342-7303.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Good about I'm looking like a real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959 to 814723 or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it's not well.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're locked on to the Street 919 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy with Dominic Romaine and Bruce Wayne. Yeah, Dominic.
Yeah, saying something to you there, Bruce.
All right, cool.
Right. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So one of the trending stories over the last couple of days was the announcement by the Minister of Public Utilities that as part of the restructuring exercise for WASA, some 426 managers are going to be sent home. Some positions would be made redundant, and I guess in the restructuring exercise, the new entity, so as we must still be called WASA, some of the job functions of some of the managers are going to change, and the existing managers who would be given visa would also be afforded the opportunity to reapply, provided, of course, that they satisfy the criteria for the position. Because there's an article that appeared in the newspaper which indicated, and this is coming, quoting from the minister, that you have a lot of people in WASA who carry the title of engineers, and don't know, being from Bulford in engineering, they don't have a degree, they don't have any qualification whatsoever in engineering, but are calling themselves or holding the titles of engineers. He also made mention of the fact that there are some managers in WASA who are making between $20,000 to $40,000 a month. Some of them supervise no one, so they are just managers in title only. But in terms of having a staff to manage, a department to manage, none such exist. You have some managers who just have one person or two people under them. So really and truly, what is the purpose of that? And Watson Duke's name is mentioned as one of those managers who has no staff, who supervises no one. And the fact that Watson Duke could have gone on leave for so long, since I think 2009, tells you, and that is the position that he holds, some assistant manager, something, I can't even remember what it was. But the fact that he can go on leave for so long speaks volumes as to the necessity or the significance of such a, or lack of such a position. Yeah. So 426 managers, and the UNC is up in arms over that, so much so that they felt the need to have a press conference where Barry Badarath, who considers himself, who fancies himself to be the shadow minister of public utilities, decided to come and run his mouth to talk about, that this is the start of the process to privatize WASA, and more persons are going to be sent home, and that the opposition had been sounding this alarm for the longest while, and so on. Bruce, I don't think there's anybody in Trinidad and Tobago who is not of the view that something needs to be done at WASA.
Yeah.
Right? Something needs to be done at WASA. The service is absolutely unacceptable. Yeah. That you have a field force of over some 5,000, well, you have a workforce of over 5,000 persons at WASA. We hear complaints all the time. People will tell you during the day it's difficult to see a WASA crew, but all of a sudden in the night they're there working overtime. So why can't these jobs be done during the day? And then they will tell you, well, because of traffic now, we don't really want to interfere with the traffic, so better we do it at night. Well, okay. If you're doing it at night, well, then roster the workers to work in the night. That's
simple.
So therefore, that's their day work. Don't tell me that they come to work during the day and we sit down and we in the locker room and we all talk and we laugh and skin and grin. And then 5 o'clock in the evening, we jump on the truck and we go on overtime.
We're going to work. We're now going to work.
Yeah, you're now going to work. And the crew, you have about 40 men on a crew to do a job that 10 men could do. And everybody else just stand up and walking around and whatnot. Yeah, and my rapid cacks they way. Look, that's the subtotal the work you do for the entire job. Yeah, and my dad would shut they way. Yeah, and, that's it. I mean, and people are upset. I saw yesterday on Facebook, no stranger to the Street 919 FM, Kim Cole. She put out a post that she doesn't have water, wherever it is that she lives. And she would have made several calls, sent several messages to persons of influence, and nobody responded to her. Well, that was the first message, right? And you know, she finds it ridiculous because she pays her water bill on time, and therefore she expects to have water. Well, boy, when the Leversley comment on the post, and I think, if memory serves me correctly, I think he tagged Esmond Ford. Why? Why you do it? You could do that. You just go Billy chat and say, Kim migrate from Tunapuna. Well, Bruce, him lash Esmond Ford left, right, and said, I feel sorry for the man now. I say, you should have just delete that post and go man lie down in the bed. Pull a blanket and just stay there for the rest of the evening, because you know Kim out not easy. That is he likable but useless. I say, okay, and then she went and she gave her, anyway, and then between them, I ain't get involved in that. Yeah, but she subsequently put up another post where she had to pay $900 for 1,400 gallons of water. Normally, 900 for 1,400 gallons, right? But normally, you know, people get more than that for $108 a month, every 2 months or 3 months or so. 3 months?
3 months.
Yeah, I don't know. It just come out automatically from my credit card, so very, very well. Yeah, so I mean, something needs to be done, and the hypocrisy of the UNC again, to come out and make it seem as if, you know, this government's so wicked and heartless. Look, they want to send home 426 people and more people on the breadline, and how many families suffering and so on. Now, I read in the article, Bruce, that this separation exercise is probably going to cost the government approximately $600 million in VSEP, right? But let us not forget that between 2010 and 2015, the People's Partnership engaged in a similar exercise where you had Emmanuel George, who as the Minister of Public Utilities, made a statement that they needed to get rid of at least 2,800 workers from WASA. 2,800 workers from WASA. Emmanuel George said that. But you see, all your memory short. You all members of the illiterate, you all your memory short. But you all don't talk these things. And when we raise it, and when we remind you all about it, you know, the first thing all jump up and say, yeah, well, time to stop the blame game and blame Kamla. Morning Central. Like to say that, oh, I come across as the UNC do it, so the PNM should do it too. No. Good politics or good economics equates to bad politics. And therefore, tough decisions need to be made in order to fix WASA. And if it is that you have hundreds of millions of dollars being spent every month in overtime and paying salaries that are not necessary, and you could trim the fat and still get a better service, as opposed to what currently obtains, you all prefer that the government just leave it just so? Now, in the first instance, the government has indicated that persons would be allowed to reapply for positions. There's no guarantee that you would get through, because if there are persons out there who are more qualified and who can do a better job and deliver a better service, then obviously they will get the jobs. So it does not stand to reason that because you were holding the position before, that automatically you just reapply and boom, you get a job, right? So, and this is the point that we continue to make. If you sat down in WASA in a managerial position for how many years and didn't engage in any activities, education-wise, academic-wise, in order to improve your skill set, right, and to improve your the contribution that you could make to the company, and now the situation has arisen, whose fault is that? You took it for granted that this situation at WASA has been going on for how many years, and the status quo you assumed would change because previous administrations would just talk about the problem and leave it so. So that what the UNC did, the People's Partnership did, as we read in an article some months ago, and as we know that this exercise is not just some fly-by-night, was UNC like to say Vikey decision, right? One of the very first things Marvin Gonzalez in his capacity as Minister of Public Utilities has been treating with since he became Minister of Public Utilities has been the issue of WASA. Since 2020, he has been tackling the issue of WASA, so that has been a priority for him. And we have seen they've made significant strides in the improvement of the delivery of water to persons, where Mr. Gonzalez would have gone into WASA to find out, well, exactly what it is going on here, and would have visited they would have opened several booster stations around the country, at least 6 to 10, which would have improved the water supply to a lot of people in some rural communities. And not so rural communities. In fact, there was I think it's St. Anne's or somewhere there where there was this big storage tank that had not been in operation for some 15 years, and all that was required was to change a few parts. Simple parts, I think, was some valve and something else that needed to change. And that was changed. And now that booster station, that tank, is now providing water to persons in St. Anne's, and their situation has improved. 15 years. 15 years that was like that. Right? This administration came and fixed that. When they opened the booster station in Lavantil and they put up a standpipe as a symbolic gesture, that was the only thing that the members of the literati could focus on. Oh, in 2020, in 2022 or 2021, standpipe. That was not for public use. The standpipe was on the compound of the booster station and was just put there as symbolic so that when the minister cut the ribbon and so on. But when Kamala Persad did the same thing when she was Prime Minister, members of the literati, you all didn't have any problem to see, with that, right? Because between 2010 and 2015, it's okay to be commissioning new standpipes. And it was all right then. But let us not forget the bubble, as was the case with most things with the People's Partnership, that in their exercise to reduce the staff complement at WASA, to make the authority a little more lean and to improve its financial standing, you all had a manager who was tasked with the responsibility of carrying out the visa, lied to the board, doctored the numbers, right, and telling the board of management that this is the staff complement of WASA, when that was not the case. When 1,000 persons were given visa at a cost of some $400 million, and then all of them rehired. That's how the People's Partnership operated. So these people got money for nothing. But they got 2 weeks home, a 1 month home, with thousands of dollars in compensation, far more than they would have earned for that month. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that you all paid them in visa, and then come back in a month's time now, come through the back door. And who will know? Right? Lied to the board, cost the state $400 million, but hey, that's just how it was back then. Money was flowing, highest energy revenues in this country's history, so what the hell? And he was still there afterwards. It took this administration to take action on that. That's the nonsense that passed for good governance under the People's Partnership. And rather than you all talk about that, you all want to come and talk about what the government only sending on people and putting people on the breadline and families that they suffer and all of that. The same thing with TSTT. In 2014, the board that you all put there, that the UNC, the People's Partnership, put there, with Evel Snaggs and Ravi Ratiram, who is now the Member of Parliament for Cooper North, right? He was the vice chairman of the board at the time. There's one to wonder whether or not that's how Arnold Ram would have gotten that job, that high-paying, high-position job at TSTT after having been fired from TNTech. Stranger things have happened, right? But they had a 5-year strategic plan which involved and called for the reduction of the TSTT staff by some 25%. Some 700 persons were earmarked to be sent home over a 5-year period. Yeah? But you all forget that. But when it is that we raise these issues, I only like to go back in the past and talk about 2010 to 2015. I'll have a problem with that. But it's okay for you all to go back to 1970 and talk about O'Halloran and Privat. I continue to make the point. Every time the UNC had to talk about PNM corruption, that's because PNM corruption is the incidence of PNM corruption is so few and far between that you all have to go back 4 and 5 decades. 4 and 5 decades to talk about PNM corruption and say, PNM invent corruption. Yeah? The most recent vintage would, of course, be the issue with Marlene McDonough. But everything else you all make up in your head. Always casting aspersions and making claims and can provide no evidence whatsoever of any such corruption. But it's evidence under the PP, and you all cannot deny it. That's the problem, right? You all cannot, even if you all want to say, it's PNM lies, but you all cannot provide any evidence to show, well, look, this is why it's a lie. All you could do is deny, but that's about it. But the rest of us not stupid, and we know what you all give. And while you all putting your hopes on 2025, just know that there are a lot of us in this country who will never forget 2010 to 2015, right? And all the corruption that it brought. Every Monday morning is a minister being fired, minister being replaced, or some nonsense, so because the name got called in some wrong standard. You also concerned about the 426 managers. But of course, we know why you weren't concerned about the 1,000 persons who were sent home while Kamala was Prime Minister, because they were just sent home, as I said before, on a little short vacation, a 1-month vacation to come back. And you all had nothing to say about that. That wasn't robbery of the Treasury. That wasn't robbery of the taxpayer. Because you know, everything you all, we paying tax, and we paying tax, and as a taxpayer, Chicotas only paid for PAYE. The only tax you are paying is VAT. And a lot of things you all I don't yeah, I paying tax, I paying tax at the hospital. Yeah. 400 and something for the year you pay in health charge, but you want to go to the hospital and expect to get the best of the best. Yeah? 400 and something dollars. You go up some visit, cost you $600. Yeah, problem with that. I don't tell the doctor you're paying. Before you're paying, and you expect when you go in the hospital, you must get every test possible. The best of care. I played that clip the other day, Bruce, with the Minister of Finance, the interview that he did with Rhoda Barrett, where he spoke about the issue of the fuel subsidy. And he said the government had expected to pay some $1 billion in fuel subsidies based on the price of 95. He said because so that simple things is what is going to cost the perhaps say some people because they state in $14 per liter for fuel, but selling it at $6. Right? So we paying $6. But they say it costs $8 difference. Is the government had to pick up the slack? The government, and he said that cost the government an additional $1 billion in subsidy. But the literati don't like to hear that, because that extra $1 billion that they have to pay in subsidy, right? If it is that they had not increased the other day by the $1 or so, that $1 billion might have worked out to about 1.5 to 2 billion. Yeah? And that extra $1 billion that they've had to pay in subsidy could have been used to pave the roads. That's all they keep griping about. Yeah, that is the consequence. But apparently you all figure that the treasury is a bottomless pit. Plenty money. Yeah, because you know what? It's Qatar. Qatar, Bruce. That Qatar's GDP is 195 billion US. That is funny. Qatar producing 1.9 million barrels of oil per day. We're producing 65. But we want to compare Trinidad and Tobago and Qatar. And so Qatar, this and that, and look at they were a whole Dust Bowl country, and look where they have reached because of the management of their rulers and the management of the leadership of the country. Really? That had nothing to do with the figures. What we making in a month, Qatar making in one day. Yeah. But it's because of the leadership. That had nothing to do with the fact that Qatar rolling in money. If our oil production was like what Qatar's is, right?
They're really
yeah, as I said on Sunday, public servants would be able to liken themselves. They could get a pay raise every month because the government would have more money than they know what to do with it. They could give away money. So come and line up by the treasury. How much you want? The kind of money that they have. And they have a population of 2.8 million. Ours have about 1.5 or half theirs. You can imagine if we were making the kind of money that, yeah, nobody would need to work. But we don't understand that. We're going up on YouTube and looking for a video. Hey, never play this video for them. Yes, we don't lash them. Really?
You just really have to know who you're talking to, you know. Or certain things you can't say, Dominic, like be real.
Yeah.
If you go in and speak to people who know, you feel you could go and talk that happiness?
No.
And I say that night.
You need to be mindful. You don't know who's listening to you.
Right.
It's like the little bit that I listen to the whole time I only stop singing over it. Watch me. If I used to cuss, Bruce. Seriously. And what is even more unnerving is the fact that you have people who will call in and support that foolishness and tell him and go to the head of the class.
Oh, yes.
For promoting that dotishness and don't realize that how dotish they too looking. Simple thing. Just take your phone. That's what you all have. But half of them, Bruce, should just go back to Me Too. All you're wasting money having smartphone. Just go on it and Google one time and see. But yes.
Well, how did this
yeah.
the thing now?
Yeah. Like we need to write a book called How to Google for Dummies. You know? Simple. Imagine you telling people that if you want to know where the money in the HSF is invested and so on, if you Google it, you can't find it. Same time I pull up my phone, Google it, Ministry of Finance website. Come on. Quarterly report. Every 3 months, the Ministry of Finance releases a report, Bruce, on the performance of the fund, what it is invested in, how much money it makes and all of that. A detailed report to them. Every 3 months. We're coming to tell people it's a secret, and the government, this is information the population is supposed to have, and the government and want the people to know. Right there. And people, yeah, but, yeah, give them. Give them what? Right? Anyway. Some people are just supposed to listen to the radio on a Saturday only.
Dominic, we had to go to one of them meetings, but we were disguised. And when we reach, and they see, they say, yes, tell them, that what they talk. Just go by that same person and say, what are they talking about? And wait for the answer.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't have a car waiting on your door.
Yeah. Yeah. But me, you know, I just come here because they invite me, yes?
You didn't hear what they said? They go say it again just now, wait.
Yeah. Let me shut up. Aksida. Yeah. Big man, what is it say there? Yeah. But me, you know, I just jibbing by. Yeah. Bruce, there was something else. I don't know how I forgot that. It was perhaps the most ridiculous thing, and it slipped me out. I'm trying to remember. The most ridiculous, I mean, I couldn't believe it, Bruce. I said, nah, that had to be a joke. I will remember, but it's just that I don't have the patience, Bruce, to go back and listen to that. I can't. I really can't do that. I can't. Bruce, play that kept there with Mr. Duke for me, please.
Oh, good. You just need audio or you want video everything?
Whatever you want to do. Right? Yeah.
Oh, good.
So, the Prime Minister has caught COVID again, or at least he has reported himself for the third time as having COVID. Is this a joke or a publicity stunt? And every time a new strain of COVID comes out, he catches it. Every time someone in big news says they have COVID, he says he has COVID too. What is going on with our Prime Minister? How come he alone catches COVID among all the cabinet ministers? How come he's the only one to report he has COVID? What type of life is he living? Where is he playing? Where is he working? Where is the source of the COVID? Let's get to this root cause. The Prime Minister has some questions he has to answer to the public. You need to be safe. Among all people, you are the Prime Minister. You are the leader of government business.
No. Credibility is a hell of a thing, eh? Bruce, how many times has Dr. Raleigh been diagnosed with COVID?
It's twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Where did the third time come from? I hear him say 3 times, right? 3 times. But you questioning the integrity of the Prime Minister and his honesty. And you start off your life with a blasted lie. Showing yourself once again to be a damn blasted liar. As usual. But you know, again, members of the party, I haven't checked the page of Bernie Jack Gregg yet to see what she had to say, because you know anything with Dr. Raleigh, she always have a running commentary to make. Some people feel that they need to say something in order to stay relevant. Right? But here you say the Prime Minister 3 times. Ask him to tell us the 3 times now. Can't tell you. That's just like the ex-gratia payment. That's all they're waiting on. That's just like the promise. All who need jobs will have jobs. You will get jobs. We forget to tell all is that those jobs will come at the expense of those who already have jobs and who will have to lose their jobs so that you could get.
Imagine that, eh?
Yes. So, yeah. So all of you went and voted, yes. Watson by Watson. Yeah. Now we're home studying how to pay all their bills. Watson bills paying, you know? Oh, yes. Because Watson drawing salary under false pretense. When Watson's supposed to be in Tobago, he in Trinidad. Asked his constituents, when was the last time they see him? Well, I bet you the people alive until could tell you, though. The people are born, I could tell you, though. When it is he's supposed to be in your constituency, in his constituency, his district, I think it's Roxborough, whatever. Huh? Roxborough, let me ask you something this morning. When was the last time Watson took you all to River Line? But he threw in River Line for the people of Bonero. Yeah. Yes. Nice big River Line up in Cora, I think it was. For the people of Bonero. When nothing fall here. You all who voted for him. He's your representative. You can't see him. Only time I'll see him is on Facebook and he in Trinidad. The people of Roxborough. When was the last time the PDP come and did they for SCA? Did they come bearing gifts of laptops to give out to the SCA students of Roxborough? Nobody doing that in Lavantel and the Beetham though. Yes. PDP at Tobago party, right? And Kamala said the UNC don't put up no candidates in Tobago because they believe that Tobago should control its own destiny and and yada. All the things. Roxborough, you all get any bread here? Yeah, Roxborough, how much bread all you get? Because they share loaves of love in Trinidad. No loaves of love for you all in Tobago? And Roxborough, they don't love all you? No bread for you all. There's only salt. How that salt tasting? Meanwhile, in Trinidad, all over the place. San Fernando, yeah, all up in the PNM constituencies. Sharing love. And no love for the people of Roxborough who voted for him and put him where he is today. No love for the people of Roxborough whose votes gave him the position of Deputy Chief Secretary. Up to now, we still don't know what that position does because we know he has a very nice office in Tobago because we saw it last time where he was sitting down behind his very nice desk in this big office making TikTok videos and mocking Dr. Rowley. That's what he's getting paid for, to make TikTok videos. Yes.
I tell you, we in the wrong line of work. You didn't listen to me, you know.
Clearly.
We in the wrong line of work. I just joined TikTok yesterday.
Yes.
I need to be TikToking and collecting a salary. I don't understand. Any wrong line of business?
Yeah. Well, I still not on TikTok. I don't think I'm going to. Well, I see the reels and so I.
Well, remember everything I do too is for promotional purposes. So somebody advised me that, you know, try the TikTok now. It will help, you know, boost the little promotions, the events, and I said, okay, no problem. I'll try it and see, you know. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I just delete myself off it. That is all.
Yeah. Well, I mean that makes sense. Some people, there are some people who make a lot of money off of it. Yeah, doing simple things. Yeah.
Let me say good morning. Good morning, Glenda.
Yeah. So if it is that you could build a following, hey, all power to you. Yeah, everybody and anybody jumping on TikTok now. But, yeah. So I guess the man decided to, you know.
Yeah, but you're taking my tax paying money to be on TikTok. Listen to me, man. It's funny how does this work, you know? Because we the people are the ones that hire the ministers, the leaders, so to say, to run the country and make sure things go in accordance to the law and in the best interest of the people, right? So obviously, if things not going in the best interest of the people, I think we need to remove you. Now, seeing that we have a particular way in which we do this via elections, like a lot of my Tobago friends and family does message me and say, let them enjoy their one term. I like, what do you mean by that? No, Bruce, if let's kids, let them enjoy their one term. I say, well, all right, well, I'll go see when the election time roll around again. We go see how it goes. One term, they let it one.
But you see, Bruce, we know Watson Duke got his start in Wassa. And so apparently he seems to think that the THA is Wassa. So the very same thing he was doing in Wassa, you had title, you have office, but you're not doing any work. The same thing he doing now as Deputy Chief Secretary of the THA. What I find to be most instructive is the fact that with the announcement from Marvin Gonzalez of the imminent retrenchment of some 426 managers at WASA, and a further intention perhaps to reduce the workforce of WASA, Mr. Duke has not said a single word on that. He has not come out to attack Marvin Gonzalez. You remember at one time he said, if you touch WASA, tell them prepare the morgue. There's powder. And we ain't talking about no Amens baby powder, or Amens as he said. There's the pineapple powder them fellas in Bart Street and Lavantil there's used. What kind of powder the guys in Lavantil and Bart Street is used, Watson? But remember that? Yeah? Prepare the morgue if they touch WASA. Well, look, they went and touch WASA. You're working all Watson. Your former work.
Proper touch.
How they do? And you have nothing to say, but you could do a whole lot to talk about Dr. Rowley, get diagnosed 3 times with COVID. But no comment so far on what has been announced by the minister with respect to WASA. I find that rather interesting. But you see, Mr. Duke has intentions, Bruce, of becoming the next prime minister. In fact, he has articulated that on Facebook. He did a whole poster with respect to that he's going to be the next prime minister. Okay. Make no mistake, Watson Duke knows what is going on at WASA. Watson Duke knows that there needs to be a restructuring of WASA, right? WASA, he owes his political life to WASA. In fact, whenever the PSA had elections, the majority of his votes would have come from WASA. So his neighbor's been buried in WASA. So he doesn't have the wherewithal to make the changes that need to be made at WASA. Not that he doesn't know it, but he can't. So, if in his mind, he is so convinced that he's going to be the next prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago because he believes they'll win the 2 Tobago seats, that the votes between the PNM would be such that either party, to form government would require his 2 seats, and therefore at the negotiating table, the one thing that is non-negotiable is who is going to be prime minister, right? Because remember when they had the 6-6 and they were trying to negotiate a break of the deadlock, the positions that he wanted was the position of Secretary of Finance and I think Deputy Chief Secretary, and the PNM refused to budge on the position of Secretary of Finance, and he indicated that position was non-negotiable. If you're not willing to give us that, well then, to hell with that, we're not time. Yeah, no dice. So clearly, that's his intention, because he, when he, on his last day in office as PSC president, when he was leaving, he did a live and he said, "This is the last time I'm leaving this office," right? He said, "But I will be going to another office, office of the Prime Minister." So he knows what needs to be done to fix WASA. So let Rowley do it. Let the PNM do it, right? So that when I become Prime Minister, I don't have to do it. And therefore, all my friends and them from WASA don't have to be vexed with me to say I sell out, because I came from WASA, I owe my political life to them, and as soon as I become Prime Minister, I come and bust WASA throat. No. So I have a problem, I have nothing to say, let Rowley do it. Yeah? And let Rowley take the licks from the WASA people, and then I come in here. It is what it is. It done fix already, so I'm going to unfix it. Yeah? That's why he quiet. You people stupid. Come and do he take the vaccine because he lost family members and his wife lost family members and his children lost family members and so on. Please. And then a month later realize the truth. Because he was going to Dubai and he planned to go to Florida and he must be vaccinated to get into the United States. But you come and feed us that hogwash. Well, they didn't feed us that. You feed the gullible people who voted for you that nonsense, and they buy that hook, line, and sinker, right? I don't know what upon you was selling it, but I didn't buy it. And here we are today. Yeah? So we know. Anything that come out of that man's mouth is a waste of time. So, but anyway, 7:37, Bruce, you can open the lines there.
So guys, you can call us up at 342-0081 and 466-5391. Those are the numbers to call. Call me up. Hey, I didn't see this line ring for the morning. I wonder if it. I hope that it. Oh, I talked too quick, boy. Caller, good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Very Bruce, for some reason I'm not hearing you, but well, I know you're on, I know you're hearing. But Dominic, good morning. Dominic, you said something that make me jump. You said that what Duke is vying to be Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. No, I hear that, but I was just thinking, When he said that rubbish that Watson Duke spoke when he went to Dubai, you can imagine what Mr. Trinidad and Tobago and had a one talking in front of the WHO or one of them world body and representing Trinidad and Tobago. Could you imagine that Watson Duke is the head of CARICOM and going out there and talking for CARICOM? You probably understand who is Watson Duke. To me, this is how I see Watson Duke. Watson Duke is a bluffer and a done. Watson Duke has no tertiary education. Watson Duke basically bluffy way into where he is today. On talk and all talk. Watson Duke has no ideas, nothing. Watson Duke can manage nothing. Watson Duke have the PSA houses in Long Circular Rotten right now. See, Watson Duke receive PSA with lots of money and leave it almost bankrupt. And all Watson Duke do to raise more funds for the PSA is to increase people's contribution. So when all they talk about that, it frightens me. So this man to lead me in my country, to be, and I had to call him Prime Minister, right? Something had to be wrong and stick with the minds of people in Trinidad and Tobago if people are really seriously thinking about putting this man as Prime Minister. Thank you very much.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Morning, Jan.
Morning, Dominic. Morning to all the callers and listeners. 91.9. Mr. Chance, Malatina Puna, Zina, Mano, Batare, Rowley Jr., the Tobago crew, everybody. We had asked ourselves all the things that Watson Solomon Joe. Is he qualified for the manager position, which is alleged that he has, because it is said that he would have gotten that promotion while he was at PSA, because that was not his substantive post. And if you are just showing you if it's truly dishonesty, if you're on secondment, is the job that you were doing will remain intact until after you finish wherever you have gone on promotion or whatever it is, and when you go back to your job, any promotion is offered to you or that you're entitled to, you will get it when you get back. You don't get promotion while you're acting in another position or working in another position. So those are things you have to look at. Was he even qualified for the position that he has and had, and the monies that he would have gotten? Because I would have seen a document, so I'm going to say alleged now. It said Watson Solomon Joe, when PSA president, substantive post, hydraulic technician, range 42G, with a salary at the time $9,943. He was promoted to a research specialist with a salary, range 67, with a salary of $16,410. And when the back pay was given, there was a difference in the salary money he would have gotten if he was at the Ranger Hydraulic Technician. So he got a back pay. That is why he was at PSA. It's like $232,812. And it goes on to talk about the background president now on the whole WASA PSA section that was at WASA itself, because PSA has a whole section there that they are treat for the WASA PSA workers, and they are being paid by WASA to work, not to do WASA work, but to do industrial relation work for PSA to the members. That's how nice they had it at WASA. Me as ex with them, but those are the things happening. But they won't tell you that. The whole WASA PSA section, there's a WASA and all even give them a building was WASA was renting for them, not to do WASA work, but to do PSA work. So them was like a mini WASA itself. That's why WASA section will be getting on, so in my mind, the PSA section, because they was running things. They wasn't coming to PSA head office. Them had their own office that WASA paying for, and all of the workers, the section there, the chairperson, the vice chair, the secretary, everybody, WASA workers, but they're not doing WASA work that they went in there to do or paid to do. They were getting paid and doing union work, right? I am saying the state that WASA find themselves in, especially PSA workers, I would say the WASA section, or PSA section, what were they doing for the WASA workers up there, the PSO members up there that was paying them money, because that is what WASA was paying them to do, to treat with industrial relation matters, to make sure the working environment is good, it is safe, and everything that's like a union does do. So how it is, they didn't do, what were they doing? That has reached to this way, now we're hearing 426 or something, so managers from WASA immediately has to go because it's very top heavy. Some of them not qualified. See, the minister is saying that some of the managers who have the job, they're not qualified. How did that happen? I understand the background president was a manager in the HR department. So what it is he was doing when he was there, was he not seeing that people's resume is not right, it's loaded, they're not qualified for the job? So it's a lot of questions we have to ask. So WASA find itself in a position that I talking about PSA, I'm not talking about the other unions. I think PSA section and PSA is to blame under Watson Solomon Juk, because he came from WASA. He was the president of PSA for 12 years. What was he doing with WASA other than talking about they can't do them this, and if they come at WASA? So he didn't do his job as a president, because coming out of that, he had the business, Blackstone. So how all these things happen? So when I hear the minister talk about things at WASA, and it has to change in order for us to get a better service where we paying our money for, we have to be look at it with that's something where there is smoke, there is fire. So we have to be very cautious. You see what they did with Petrotrin, everybody, a big hue, yes, people lost their job, it was unfortunate, some probably still trying to recover and all that, but we see Heritage, our subsidiary of Petrotrin, making billions, and based on that, Standard & Poor's was able to give us a good credit rating also. So let us see what happens with the restructuring and the modernization of WASA, and I'm all for it. I know some people lose their job, I'm not glorifying that. However, if we're going to get improved service, because we pay money, we don't get the water free from WASA, and we must get proper service. I hear a woman called yesterday, I think it was, and crying because they didn't get water. It's 3 weeks now, whatever. If the modernizing of WASA will alleviate this and bring a proper supply for workers, for people who pay, I don't see why people should be vexed with that. And in anything in change, there will always be people who will be uncomfortable, because change will come with everybody staying comfortable. So I hope PSA will do the best for the workers now to make sure that whatever collective agreement that they have with WASA, that WASA pay them appropriately, whether it's VSEP, whether it's retrenchment, whatever the case may be, instead of wiling them up to come out and march on the street and all that. And before it was instructive, yesterday I was at the Emancipation Parade, and I would have spoken to the Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts. I am saying, I am giving him the benefit of the doubt. I am saying he probably didn't hear my question. I asked him properly, because then his response will be totally different. Because I asked him why it is at the Emancipation Village, there's a picture of Hanuman, the statue up, and the temple in the sea. And he was something about it's tourism and it's for the whole country and all that. I don't think he understood me properly, because I was really asking him, how come a celebration for persons of African descent? Yes, as the whole country celebrates it, but this is a particular ethnic group that this is for, that you'll have a statue of Hanuman and the temple in the sea, because those are symbols with the Hindu faith. Because I'm sure for Diwali, nobody dare go down there with a no Orisha deity, or no Petiano Baptist and the head tie with a bell, and no symbol of emancipation or anything in the Diwali Nigar. So I think he did not hear my question properly. So you all, thank you as usual for allowing me the opportunity to expound on a situation when, I feel that I should speak about it. So you all reach home safely and be safe. Much love again, and emancipation. Greetings again to the African community. Bye.
Thanks, Jen. Let me see if I get this line. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Morning.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, sir.
I always hear the World Junior say something, and it's stuck in my head. I think it's World Junior. He's saying a democracy. Right? You're talking about, that's how they call us, talk about Watson Duke now. And how Watson Duke has come leader into big or anything and become that legislation. They say a democracy. Fools could elect a fool to leader, and that's stick with me. And that is what we see taking place
in this place. Fools can inject a fool. That's the sad thing about democracy. I'm out and listening to your views. I just remember that I say I'm a part.
Okay.
9 people.
So, guys, you can call us at 342-0081 and the 466-5391. Those are the numbers to call. Call us up. The lines are now open so that you can say your piece. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic. Good morning.
Morning.
You know, Dominic, on this.
Hold on. I hear more noise than I hear in you.
All right, that's all. Yes.
All right, nice.
How come the communication worker union leader fighting for WASA? And how come the union fighting for monthly paid from managers? And they're talking about we go lose we work. And how come it have so much of manager? What is the employee level of WASA? Not about 5,000 and something?
Yes.
So at my calculation, that means one manager managing 15 people only. We pay them 6,000. And we put in 400 manager. So you telling me one manager managing 15 people? We serious in this country? No wonder why we have all this problem. And I want people to understand something. Not because your skin is a certain way and your hair is a certain way, mean you're actually black. Because you know what? WASA somehow find it fitting that during this emancipation period on the east-west corridor to take water since Saturday. I hear nobody talking about that. Why that happening, Dominic? Bruce, why that happening? And they want to call themselves black and want black people to support them? Really? Or they're pseudo-black, or they're black of convenience. Your heart might be black, but nothing else, man. Are gone.
So we have a minute and 30 seconds again before we go to the break. We can probably take one more call. Caller, good morning.
Hey, Bruce. Morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Well, John, I shared with Dominic earlier this morning, right? Two issues are calling on, right? One we're watching you, and one issue Dominic talked about this morning. In the time at the UNC, they dismiss some management, right? Give them CPEP, whatever the case may be, and they come back 2 months through the back door. What I'm saying now that the same thing mightn't happen here. If I, who presently work, I just say that I don't work WASA, if I presently work at WASA and had the qualification, I was doing a good job, but part through this restructuring program, the taking place, right, they will pay more. And if I qualify for the job and the best person for the job, and reapply, they will reappoint me back. That will be double whammy. I find the people who they retrain, who they're moving from WASA. If that's to reapply, that's why I just reapply for some other government institution. So it makes sense I getting paid 200,000 or 300,000 from a service for the last 10, 15 years, the same. And because I'm the best qualified person in the country, I will get rehired back next 3 or 4 months. I see the sense in that. And the next thing with Watson Joe, if Watson Joe be God forbid if he come prime. God forbid if he come prime minister. He will write his speech. 99% of the world leaders, there's why people writing 90% of the speech for them. So here will be no speech writer, there will be some intellect person might be writing his speech, but God forbid if that happening. Look out and listen.
Yeah, man. So, guys, with that, we head to the break. Keep it locked. We will be right back.
Oh, good. Start now. Well, well, well. Well, 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 well.
If it's one thing I want, it's the government of even side of it. It's the government that look me down in the people pet. It's the government that tell me we are one more pet. One more pet, yeah. I want to get one. I want to go crazy, crazy. I want to play a mask. I just want a pretty lady. Do what we have to do.
Are they ready to play twice a day? Come carnival, we outside. Take a chip and you won't get wine. I want to get wine. I want to get busy. I want to have art. And I want a pretty lady. Do what we have to do. But yeah, what I want to do. If I had one wish, so to get up on them and push on the best eye. Lord, if I had one.
George, you know what mash up? Lo. You know what mash up?
Tell me.
I'm a jail chicken outside by a greedy. Let me mash up again one more time now.
Well. Hold on. All the people who really wish Carnival was the way it used to be, put your 2-1 in for me here right now. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize Carnival again. Hold on. All you have to sing it louder than that. I want all you close all your eyes. Just go into deep inspiration like it was back in 2009 when the Carnival used to be the best. Let's go. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize sing Carnival again. And you're looking for your flag and your cap and your flag band start band ready to jump. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize Carnival come back again. Everybody put up all your hand, put up all your flag. 1, 2, jump on them. Show me ya, where 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 ya.
Thank you.
I want to say thanks for giving me the opportunity to sing with you.
Is I get the opportunity to sing with you?
No, I get the opportunity to sing with you.
You like to call me first?
Because you lucky girls.
In Trinidad and Tobago, there are so many things to talk about. Social issues, injustice, child abuse, domestic violence, political scandals, and much more. On HOTP, we will cover all that and much more. Don't forget, you can catch us every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Hot off the press. Hot topics, no filter.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it's not wet.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check out the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Law and You every Friday evening from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live on the Street 919 FM, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He had showeth thee, O main, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. In the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For further information, call 753-1133 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So welcome back. Just a bit of information for you. Hot Off the Press presents our first boat ride. Come celebrate Aisha's birthday with us on Saturday, the 13th of August, 2022, aboard the luxurious Embassy Yacht. Boarding at 6:30 p.m. sharp at Hyatt Waterfront, sailing till 11 p.m. All-Star DJ Cast, shots on entry. Get your tickets early. First 100 tickets will be sold at $150. For tickets and information, call Robert at 333-2181. or Ulu at 730-3665 or Mummy Sauce at 753-2175. Champions, let's party in fine style aboard the Sea Champion. And yacht lovers, get ready to party aboard the luxurious Embassy Yacht. For more information, you can call us at 399-5959, 280-7512 or email coralvisiontT@gmail.com. For all your hardware, building materials, auto parts, small tool rentals, pets and pet supplies, gravel and sand available. Don't forget PowerMaster, Optima Vata and Megastar batteries starting from $488. This is all at Johnny Q, number 15 Peter Avenue, Woodruff. And at the Johnny Q Superstore in Lowlands Mall, Tobago off Claude Noel Highway. Just call 632s. Join Pastor Kelvin Harry Narayan and friends for the Way, the Truth, the Life radio program, Radio Ministry, a Church of Life ministry live on the Street 919 FM every Sunday from 6:05 p.m. to 7 p.m. For further information, you can contact 686-3845 or 349-5178 or 342-7303. And tune in to the Street 909 FM every Thursday from 10:05 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. for the program Straight and Narrow, The Way of Life, the health store, being brought to you by Mrs. Arlene Collins Muhammad. For more information, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene for Life. You can also call or WhatsApp us at 309-4697 or 620-9379. Yes, so we are back, Dominic. We are back.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess we could continue to take the calls.
Yeah. So guys, you can call us up 342-0081 and 466-5391. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Morning.
And the people. But lady, good morning. Move on, man. And we new caller and my male guru, female guru, Jenny, good morning. Everybody, My financial guru, good morning to you, sir.
Morning,
Mother,
sir.
good morning. Mother, good morning, wherever you are. And Mother Tanapuna, man, organ, woman, organ, man, everybody, good morning. Titans, good morning. You know something, brothers? I sit down and I listen. I tell you, I have two radio listening. And the conversation this morning is about pan. Not changing your whole conversation. We'll get back to Doma. Well, Doma alone was, well, I don't know. They had to pick which one is which one on Saturday. I'll get back to he just now. And listening, the opposition leader hasn't spoken how long since after Mr. Israel Khan's statement and come out to tell me about pan. So I listening and I think and I call. A man said 60% of the population do not care about pan. You're not saying that what the opposition leader saying that he disagree with you. Understand my point? So I call and I say, but you know, pan was invented by Winston and get them, Google put up pan 5 million views, a man called. How it is, somebody went to represent Trinidad and Tobago somewhere in Barbados, and here is this, this is an East Indian person, went, and I want African people to understand what I've been trying. Fellas, please allow me. For the longest while, please. And ask her about pan. She come from a school and end up somewhere in Barbados or Jamaica, and one of the questions in the panel is about Trinidad and Tobago. And this person didn't know about pan. To explain, somebody from Jamaica had explained to them what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago and about pan. Well, you know where I come from is a rural area. And question, patriotism. If there's a group of people not accepting, you see I have a man come back with 3 gold medals, 3 medals, sorry. Ever going on a gold, silver, and bronze. What race is he? Understand what happens here. There's a group of people who is still toting feelings. Because when you look at Trinidad and Tobago, that's why they tell me, let Tobago fight for its own. When you look at Trinbago, the people who outstand and shines and puts Tobago out there and represents Tobago in a positive light is of what race? You understand what I'm getting at, brothers? And Trinidad and Tobago, there's a group of people. The argument is TASA. And let me tell you something. You see Afghanistan where the war was, that's where TASA come from. Because when the argument come up and they start to think, I went and I do a research. TASA is not an Indian instrument. TASA come from Afghanistan. They may even know that. So pan is our national instrument. So get where the conversation is. So she chose pan, I'm ex-man. Chose pan. You know she chose pan for? If only look at Rhoda Barrett sometime. Rhoda Barrett had a lady, forget she name, all of a sudden had turned to be an African because she joined the PDP as a deputy political leader. And who looked at it would understand and know what I said. She changed complexion, changed, and all of a sudden adapt to get black. It's the same thing Kamala Prasad did when she I go build a pan factory. To try to attract me to believe. Because they went around with Mr. Chokari. And all of a sudden when them come out of office, pan get disappear. I had a man come from where he was, some international forum to tell him Indian invented pan in Trinidad and Tobago. You remember that? And she was saying, all right, and didn't comment on that. A man come from Cuba, and they gave him a painting, and he asked them, so why didn't give me something at the national? Well, you remember that? These people are not patriots. They are for a particular race. That is why they swing to Guyana and Suriname, and never Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent. They go talk about how they love Barbados Prime Minister. But ask them to go there. They quicker go to Guyana. Under Panday, because they tell us that Dr. Eric Williams bring in Vincentian and Grenadians, under Panday they allowed Guyanese to come here. And when you tell them that, they vex. I have a ton load of family in Aranguez that here going on. Married the daughter to Guyanese, and when they don't have to get them have the business, they have a problem. Some people only wake up, please. Brothers, thank you very much. Enjoy the day.
Yeah, man. 342-0081-466-5391. The lines are now open. Call us up. Caller, good morning.
Hello. Hello, good morning. I'm so happy to be on. Listen, I listened to the question, nice contribution from the lady who asked the question about Randall Mitchell and why Hanuman's image was there. I find that very disrespectful because, notwithstanding tourism, we have tourism where Trinidad and Tobago is represented. And so you can take all of the elements of the tourism product that is Trinidad and Tobago and you can put it where it represents Trinidad and Tobago. In an Emancipation Day parade celebration, Hanuman's imagery has absolutely no place there. None whatsoever. And I don't think that it's a stretch for Mr. Mitchell to understand that, tourism aside, that was not the time and place for that imagery to be presented or represented. We are speaking about a specific event, not Trinidad and Tobago going on a junket or Trinidad and Tobago representing itself, its culture, its religion, whatever it is. That was not the time and place for that. So I don't think the lady misunderstood anything. I think Mr. Mitchell really doesn't understand what tourism is, what it means, and what we as individuals, what we celebrate in terms of our religious festivals, in terms of our culture, he does not understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Just good morning to you, Bruce the Boston.
Morning, my brother, morning.
I think coming from by me, all the and callers all only live. Bruce and Dominic, only talking about what you. I want to congratulate Mr. Nicholas Paul. 3 medals in the Commonwealth Games in London. I want to thank him very much. And press on. I think they're going to the Pan Am Games also. I wish them to hard work brings reward. That is what I would tell Nicholas Paul and his team. Hard work brings reward all time. Mr. Watson is before the court. He is waiting on the rotten judiciary to bring him before the court for the victim to get justice. No justice from the rotten judiciary. We've seen it all the time. And the mismanagement of Trinidad and Tobago is all over. And if the government is trying to fix the problem by restructuring and transforming the whole system of governance, I ain't seen nothing wrong with that. The wastage, the corrupt spending of our resources haven't done us any good. It reaches a point right now, like the more you speak about cheating, mismanagement, the better it is for Trinidad and Tobago, and that is not the way to go. It's time for us to open our eyes and make sure that we do the right things. Make sure that we make Trinidad and Tobago prosperous through the right management of our resources. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, Bruce, before I take the next call, with respect to the issue of Nicholas Paul, right? And again, congratulations to Nicholas on his stellar performance. But as with all occasions when we have a national Trinidad and Tobago going abroad and whatever is their chosen field of endeavor and doing well, it highlights the hypocrisy of corporate Trinidad and Tobago, right? And I made the point on Sunday that when the Prime Minister had done that interview with Natalie Legault, and he spoke about, the bridge between the rich and the poor, and it's not a seesaw where one needs to go down for the other one to come up. He was saying that the rich, there's nothing wrong with the rich getting richer, but the poor must come out of poverty. And when the rich get richer, they create opportunities for the poor, right?
Yep.
So when it is that these guys are going to do whatever it is they do, whatever is their specialty, right? You hardly see anything from corporate Trinidad. In fact, oftentimes all we see is these guys having to beg for money. They had to run to Sport TT and run to the government to ask for financial support. But the minute they win and they bring fame and glory to Trinidad, you're spending thousands of dollars on full-page ads in the newspapers to congratulate and well done and so on. When it is that these guys need the money to help them with their training, when they need the money to help them pay for their lodging, wherever it is that they're staying and so on, when they need the money to help them to buy equipment so that they could improve their craft, corporate TNT is nowhere about. Right? Nowhere about. But you're quick to spend money to offer congratulations. What does a full-page ad costing thousands of dollars do for these athletes? Absolutely nothing. Yeah? Because, yeah, the accolades are great to know. But it would be better if that money would be spent actually directly in helping them, rather than you spend a set of money in newspapers that people will read once, twice, and then it end up in the garbage. So this is what I'm talking about, that when the Prime Minister spoke about the rich creating opportunities for the poor, it wasn't just opportunities of employment, right? It's opportunities for them to hone their craft, whatever their skill set is, to put out money to develop a foundation or something, make contributions, set up some fund or something that they could dip into to help them to be able to go out there and make Trinidad and Tobago proud on a continuous basis. But when we see Jamaica and all these other countries doing well, I make the point that in the United States, Bruce, how much you ever hear people talking about the government giving money to athletes and so on to go and pursue whatever is this sport? No, it's corporate America that does these things through endorsements, through sponsorships. When it is that all of these big sport teams, NFL and NBA and stuff, is privately owned and people pumping money into these things so that these people could benefit. In Trinidad, no, let's just put money in ads and big television ads and so on and spend a set of money to fatten the pockets of the already rich and the people who should really be benefiting from it. Nothing for them.
Well said. Well said. Guys, 342-0081-466-5391. Do not hesitate to call. You know, I just want to be complaining. Can't get through.
Yeah. I just hope Nicholas doesn't go end up the same way as this other guy, Jesse Philip. When the last time you hear about Jesse? When he was he was doing well, hey, but he left Jesse now. All of a sudden, Jesse just disappear of the thing, and that's it. Yeah. Next. So Nicholas replace him. So we're happy with Nicholas now until Nicholas replacement come along. Is that how we, Yeah, boy.
Sad. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Morning.
But what Dominic said is right, because look when Wendy Fitzwilliam, when she won living, before she went up, before the season went, before she went up to do this thing, she gone up by all those people who have money, all those corporate people, and they did not help her. Because she talked about it. After she won, everybody now come in, putting on poster and things. Something is correct, they do not help the people. They put in everything until afterwards, then they will start to do it. Something has to be done about that. Thank you.
Thank you. And we've always mentioned this, Dominic. We've always mentioned that. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Brucey.
Good morning, my dear. How are you this morning?
I'm okay. I hear you talking about TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Brucey, if I send you some things from TikTok, you'll ball. And I'm saying them little youths that be watching TikTok. But I ask you first, because I know your children just use your phone, so I have to ask you first. Yes, my dear.
My children can't go in my phone.
Oh, okay, that's very good. Well, I will send it for you. I just have to ask people first, because I respect people.
Yeah. I could respect that.
You understand? I grew up like a vagabond. Okay, darling. Mr. Dominic, good morning, darling. I am Bruce's friend. I'm Bruce's friend. I'm Sharon Felix' friend. Okay, darling.
Yes,
I
darling.
want your number to send you good morning greetings with prayers and things. Okay, Brucey. Love you, Brucey.
Love you too, darling. Take care.
Mommy Sauce, Organ Oma, Auntie. Love you all. Miss Toronto, love you all. Brucey, love you, darling.
Yes,
I'll
my
send
dear.
it later.
All right, no problem.
Okay, darling.
Yeah.
All right.
I live at a very early stage. Do not allow my children on my phone. That can't work at all. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bruce.
Hey, good morning, my brother.
I am there. How you keeping? Mr. Dominic, good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Thanks for pulling up with me. Mr. Dominic, I hear your first contributor, what's the Lady Jenny? You talk about where you see smoke, you see fire, but I want to remind Jenny that fire down by Wassa. And up to now, we know who won it, but all documents and things went there. Yeah, it's true. And them was in charge, right? We know about that. And let me tell you something. I am saying something here. I read an article about Petrotrin having a restructuring too, under that same regime. And it had men in high position. I'm talking about men almost in engineering position. Didn't make 4 and 5 years yet in Petrotrin. Went home with millions of dollars, you know. It had about 4 or 5 of them. They were called in the papers, you know. Under that same lady who was on TV with a big mug in her hand, she and the chairman, I think, they refine oil. Look how much oil we find down here, and we rich. I never hear about that. I never hear about that oil what we find there, you know, brother. So you see, these people, they are not patriotic, and we talk about the sport because I love sports. I am in sports, and they never contribute 1 cent to an athlete to help them to get a bicycle, a bat, or nothing. But they sit down until you bring glory to Trinidad and Tobago, and then they're selling flag, they're selling this, they're selling that, and they want to make money off of the same athlete. And it's we really and truly that's put Trinidad and Tobago on the map. But they're not there. But they want to suck the flower when the flowers start to bloom to get the best right man. That is the attitude. But you see, I have one way for them to go and Dominic. Then we get a boat, take the leader and she follows. All of them. Put them on it. Push them outside in the ocean, but don't let the boat stop in Caribbean waters, eh? Let go. Straight up. It might end up somewhere between Ukraine and Putin. Leave them up there. Don't come back home. Because they're no use to me. They ain't like we, so what they're staying here for? Look, well, you have a nice day, brother. That's my feeling.
Yeah, man.
Have a nice day.
342-00814665391. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Morning.
I am calling a living Laramie now, but I will tell you definitely. You see, Steelman and Laramie, for 20 years before I came in Laramie to live, they had a band, Southern Symphony, from Three Hands in Library. There were 2 brothers who used to work. Someone they used to call him Block. He worked with Van Leer Steelworks. And he was one of the steel men who had this steel band they called Southern Symphony. His elder brother was named Block. Everybody from Library and Point used to go and stand up in Three Hands close to the junction to listen to that steel band play. There are some people came from Port of Spain, stand up and listen to that band. These 2 boys were selected to go with Tasco away. I'm trying my best to remember the year, but I believe it's somewhere around 1993, somewhere around there. And I could afford to tell you, that young brother who named Block started to make this 3 bass. He bent iron and carried to Mr. Van den Berg in Van Leer Steelwork. And the company stamped out 6 bands in the form of the 3-band notes and sent it back to Belgrade. And they made the 3 bass, the 3-batch bass out of those bands. And while playing, these people came from Port of Spain and listened to Belgrade and his brother Block They had a young kittle man they called Oliver. I can't remember his name. And that, his surname, I can't remember his surname, but his name was Oliver. He was one of the kicklemen. And it was a beauty to hear that man play the first man. I am telling you, I could tell you my name, but I wouldn't tell you my name. I'll call Bugu and explain to him, and he will know definitely who is speaking. Because I'm sure Bugu know the man who used to make the coconut oil in Laramine. That is the man who is telling all you. Always went on with Belgrave, Bonaparte, and bands that went to Tashpo, and they started playing music. Brock came back here. His brother came down here on holidays. They bought their own saxophone and went back up, and I never see them again. Praise God, these men started out with this big band from Spain. The Desperados, they used to come down and train with these fellas and them. So I know what I'm telling you. So nobody can come and tell you they want to make steel band down here again. That steel band theater was already ready-made in Lavantil, almost where the station factory was. That started out there. I don't know what the government do again in time of Eric Williams and started to make the pan theater. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This I could afford to tell you. It could be written in books. Thank you very much.
Nice piece of history there, man. So guys, call us up 342-0081-466-5391. Caller, good morning.
Hey, Bruce and Dominic.
Hey, man, morning.
Morning to Clem. Mommy saw Teresa Conley, Miss Cummins, Sasky, Miss Emma Fireman. Here's Al Bruce and Dominic. You see that Mr. who that's called it?
Yeah.
He no pan. Because I hear the name Belgrave call already in the pan fraternity.
Yeah.
And he talk about Taspo. Taspo was one of the first band formed in the government that went away with Eddie Manet, Patsy Haynes, and other fellas from Panam Jet, from Panam North Stars, right? So that Mr. talking, and also they had a pan, something right in John, which part they had the pan factory, which Priest Simon name. So he know what he talking about the pan fraternity. You understand? But Bruce, you know why? Also, I want to congratulate Paul for bringing this success to our country, man, putting us on the map. And Bruce, I observed yesterday the Emancipation parade and thing, right? Was real nice, Was real nice to see African people gather and enjoying themselves and see the beauty in them and their attire. But you know, I observe, I see no Indian in that parade, so not much or none. But you know, when they have the holiday, we African putting on the job and all kind of thing, by you understand? But I just call African people, just know what they're doing in an election coming, because we never get nothing for slavery, and we have a government there say the land had to be divided equally among everybody on this land. So that's not what they're doing, people. A government who want to give all your land, or vote for a government who want to give all your land, or let it choose if you want to vote for the next government who don't want to give all your no land. Right? Bruce, you all have a nice day, enjoying all your program and good information, Mr. from La Romaine down there. Okay.
Yeah, man. Caller, good morning.
Morning, question again, Bruce and Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
WASA have a $7 million a month loan wrong its neck until 2034. I think it's 2034, Dominic, or if it's anything on the cut. That is what's going on with WASA. Then, inside now, commercial, residential, industrial, everybody owing WASA. You know, in Trinidad and Tobago, we love FICO. Everything is FICO. Because property tax now, nobody don't want to pay. It have people who want to pay the property tax. It have people who telling you, don't pay no property tax. FICO was one of the best milk in my time when I was growing up. My mother said that. You know, FICO, Milex, Kerrygold. All these milk was in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's like Kim. Oh gosh, don't talk about Kim. I'm sure you know what Kim, eh? Where you are coming from. But FICO, that's what Trinidad and Tobago want right now. Everything's free. You got to work for what you want, what you need. Management is what we need in Trinidad and Tobago. Good management is what we need. Well, I think we always talking about Singapore. Singapore have one man, and when he talk, no dog bark. If you was watching you. And the people walking in a straight line, if you was watching you. The obedience in Trinidad and Tobago, we have disobedience. The opposition, disobedience. They don't want nothing good for Trinidad and Tobago. Because the management of Trinidad and Tobago right now is getting opposition from every side. And here I was saying it now. Mash Watson you. Gone with the TDP. Gone Watson you. Thank you very much.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Morning.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Yeah, so I just look at the, what I want to say, my contribution, I look at the celebration, right? You know, on Diwali and other days, we see scores of our people lining up to celebrate their thing and to buy their product. And I feel it will be an incentive to us if we support ourselves, we support our people by on this day, like yesterday, let us cook our cuisine as per se, and let us support each other rather than we line up in a long line to buy a roti and a bus of shot and doubles. Dog don't even eat doubles. And I mean that in no disrespectful way, but it's an observation of me. You never see a dog buy a double cat. Right? So I just want us to say that, and I just want us to support each other. And when we had these, we sell we crab and dumpling and with this and with that, all the African thing, because I just cook provision on Emancipation Day and all these kind of things. So let us do things and support one another and not just enrich other people. Right? So, Grandy Bachari, good morning again. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Morning, Mother.
Morning, Cheryl. Everybody, morning. Somewhere along the line, I don't know if the papers or somewhere, some headline, somebody talking about steel ban. The opposition leader wanted to do something with steel ban. But what were the words?
Yeah, she want to open a pan factory.
Oh, how to make money? Oh, I thought she was giving them because I was saying his votes they're looking for, because I don't know if you all could remember when steel ban men used to fight hunting in Port of Spain. I don't know the names of the bands now. And our Prime Minister, Dr. Eric Williams, bring them into an association that now everybody living in harmony. So since in those days steel band music in, I mean now it's going worldwide. So now what happened? So in other words, when we want to buy steel fans now, we have to buy it from that company. Anyhow, all you have all your head on, because they're using people to their own convenience. And I want to say in 1953, I was playing steel band. Teacher had a female girl side, pants side. We used to use the boys and them pants, right? We went to cinema, we went to competition, we placed first and all of that sort of thing. So when I was 15 years, I was in 1953, I used to play pan. Okay, so I know about pan. So let them not take pan and make it as a dirty name, a recognized name. Okay? So let us be careful. Okay then, bye.
Three 342-008146653991. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Morning.
Good morning to my husband to be Dominic.
Morning.
Tell me something. Under Mr. Patrick Manning, so much water workers, if I'm not mistaken, so much water workers got VSEP, right? And they went home. And under Kamala Prasad, etc., I think they brought back all these people who got VSEP, right? They rehire all these people. So you're telling me now that these people who go in home again, these people that they will send, these people are going to get a second VSEP package again? Because these people took the VSEP and Kamala rehire everybody because they knew that water was overstaffed. So these people now, they come in and tell them, so there is a second visa package again that they're getting to go home. Something had to be wrong there. And Dominic, I saw you show a video there with Watot, making live about Dr. Rowley. Why didn't make a live about his court matter? And is today supposed to go back to court? They're calling the last witness today.
That matter
Today
be
is the
so
2nd of August. I think it's... Why he didn't do it? Why he didn't go live about the court matter? Everything is Dr. Rowley. What's not them sick boy? He having his assembly woman and them over here behaving in some degrading manner. Yes, they have a personal life. But when you remember you're holding out your office now, when you go out there, you have to respect yourself. Respect who winding and fucking up foot and all kind of things. They talk to female assembly people and them. They do a life of that one. So I'm not there.
You too, my dear. Take care. Caller, good morning.
Dominic, so all the callers, listeners, online viewers.
Morning, Angie.
Mr. Dominic, I just want to show people know. At the corner of Dorata Street and Old St. Joseph Road, there is a pan factory. You don't need no favors. Have a good day.
That is correct, Dorata Street. That is the street.
Yes, that is the street.
Yeah. About something again, Bruce. But to the point of one of the previous callers, with respect to, when it's East Indian holidays, and you would in fact see a lot of persons wearing kurtan and shalwars and all of these different things to go to work, usually the day before the holiday and so on. But it's not that prominent with respect to emancipation. Emancipation, of course, being one of the few holidays that we have in the country that is tied to persons of African ancestry. The other thing that we have possibly close to that would be the Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's really some total of it. But for the East Indian community, well, they have Indian Arrival Day, you have Diwali, and so on. And in the lead up to Diwali, we will see it. You would notice that advertisements with respect to emancipation was quite low-key, almost non-existent.
True.
But yeah, because but coming up to Diwali, you would see every store having Diwali sale, and Diwali's this and Diwali that, and so on. I'm not trying to say that necessarily, and it could be that prominence is given to certain holidays over others. But unfortunately, the persons of African descent, a lot of them. I saw a clip on the news where the vendors at the Emancipation Village were lamenting the fact that there was no shortage of wares to sell. It's just people weren't coming. They were disappointed with the turnout in terms of customers coming to look and so on. A lot of people who came would just look and that's it. But in terms of getting patrons to patronize, that was a bit of a... And I was listening the other morning to television, a radio program from that station, the Sunday morning version of the Underground Report. And a guy called in to talk about how, the reason why PNM supporters do why they continue to be loyal to the PNM and they don't want to vote for the UNCs because they can't stand the idea of having an East Indian as a leader. But yet still, and I found it was a rather dotish, and because the guy says he's retired and he has time on his hands to do research and all of that, and that's what his research showed up. That that's the reason why. Because but I would remind these people in 2010, the UNC was able to win the election because they were able to take a lot of what were perceived to be PNM stronghold seats, right? Like Arima, local, whenever it's David Mira and stuff. It's PNM people who put them in, who gave them those seats, right? Because without the traditional PNM voters who make those seats strongholds, UNC, People's Partnership, could have never get those seats.
True.
So when they want to come and talk this dotishness about this race, and it has nothing to do with race. I will never support the UNC because as far as I'm concerned, the leadership of the UNC is a bunch of damn blasted liars. They're dishonest to the hilt. The current crop and previous, that's what it is. And I have heard some of them make some statements, of course, that point to racism. I continue to make the point when Kamala Prasad Bissessa could mount a platform and say the government, the reason why they don't want to open the Cuba Hospital or the UA campus in Davis because they perceive South to be Indian. Right? Really? But if Dr. Oli had made some kind of statement like that, you would have heard. And so, bringing it back to the issue of emancipation and Diwali and so on, you would see a lot of persons of African descent going and they're spending their money and they dress up in the East Indian garb and they're glad to wear it for Diwali. Not so much for emancipation. I don't know if it is that maybe they figure that African wear is expensive, but I could tell you East Indian wear is very expensive. Huh? I could tell you that. But I think there should have been a little more advertisement, especially for the Emancipation Village, because remember last week Thursday I asked about it and Angie sent me the flyer.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I really didn't hear much about it. Angie would have heard some program where I think the head of the Emancipation Support Committee would have been interviewed and so on. But again, low-key, a lot of people probably didn't even know yesterday was a holiday and he lead up to. They forget that, because again, you don't have the kind of exposure that you have for other holidays. So Christmas, and Christmas, probably time September hit. Pressure,
and
right down till December. So, and you get a little thing in between with Diwali.
Everybody wants to do the shopping thing.
We need to do better when it comes to emancipation, right? Definitely need to do better. And corporate TNT, you need to step up. Not just on Emancipation Day, you put something, again, whole page had in the newspapers costing thousands of dollars. That does nothing to help the African community, especially when you have people calling for reparations and so on. Try and invest some of that money in things that could develop, that could offer opportunities for persons of African descent. See, that's how if the government do it, you and have a problem with it, but they can't tell corporate TNT what to do with your money. So do better than that, please.
Caller, good morning.
Yeah, Bruce.
Yes, madam.
Concern, I have a neighbor and he keep quarreling that he used to work water, how they pay the union so much money to get that increase in their pension. And he says 12 years now, not no increase, not hearing anybody saying anything, nothing they're not getting on their pension. So I don't know how the union used to run that business. Now, Dominic, answer me please. Dominic, morning.
Morning.
Dominic.
Morning.
Right. Wife to be, tell her, and I want to tell you, I will bake the cake free of cost. And give her my number. And Mrs. Dominic to be, If you ever heard this voice and you heard Sharon call my name, ask anybody else if they know me and get in touch with me. We will speak. I don't think we're living far from each other. Okay, then, bye.
Oh gosh, I like that. Caller, good morning.
I'm morning, Dominic again, and Bruce.
Morning.
I feel compelled to call, you know why? These are little small things are going back again. It's like a, you know, the old people that say like a seed under your dent, yeah? It's irritating. Because I saw what happened in this country when they at a P&M Sports Day. A young group did a performance as part of the March Past. Something to do with a piece of cloth and transforming and all that. And Kamla Pasabi, Sessa, Kamisha Admin and others make this a religious thing and a disrespect to the Hindu religion. Satmarad said he found no problem with it, but Miss Kamla Pasabi, Sessa, like a seed on that denture, they continue with it. Coming out of that, Dr. Rowley, the Prime Minister of this country, had to come and apologize for a skit he know nothing about. For a skit that the Hindu leader at that point in time, he found no problem with it, but Dr. Rowley, being the kind of humble individual he is, he apologized. In the constituency of Dr. Naim Gasby, they were having a curfew or something, doing some religious thing with the Hindus, and they had to come and apologize because the community found that they shouldn't be advertising nut meat or whatever it is in that time and all that. And I'm saying, who will apologize to we? Who going to apologize for having Lord Hanuman in the Emancipation Village? I take umbrage to that. And the Emancipation Committee, how could under all your watch, all you allow that? I am not going to stop talking about it, Bruce, because these are the things that make the other groups in this country disrespect African people. Because we continue to say that small thing, but you're only talking about that for, oh God, I set up here, she. But you can't take nothing of African inscription, deities, nothing, and put it down in Diwali Naga, especially during Diwali. Sure. I don't understand this, and I'm not going to give up talking on this because these are the things that make them continue to disrespect the African community. And Dominic, that's why I call back, Dominic asked about the promoting of the emancipation, and they're not seeing anything about the Emancipation Committee. If they will allow something like that, oh God, come now, man, to tell me anything else could happen. Nobody respect him. We even respect them with damn self. We need to start to respect ourselves and speak out. No matter how small it is, because drip, 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 a bucket is full. So if you continue to take disrespect, it will come and overflow, and then you will see some other situation coming out of that. We don't want these things to reach to that. Let us treat the matter when it's the drip, drip stage, so you don't have to overflow, and people emotion get out of control and all these kind of things. Respect ourselves as African people, and people will respect us. Thank you, Dominic, again. And Bruce, bye.
Thank you, Jenny. And you know, Bruce, and that's the thing, that I'm sure if the question is posed to members of the Emancipation Support Committee, for some reason they always they don't want to walk on eggshells. They walk on eggshells, they don't want to mash nobody corner. Yes, it's okay, but you know, it's about the melding of the culture, and because and that's the problem I have, right? If, as Jenny said, it was the reverse, and they had put outside the Diwali Nagar, you put some sort of poster with something of African ancestry. There's a UNC pundit, loves to write articles. Oh, he would have write that article long time. You would have seen, blasting whoever put it on animation, whoever, you know? And I am certain that whoever the NCIC or whoever who was responsible for the Diwali Nagar and so on would have had something to say about that. Yeah? And others too. You probably had the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha would have said that is a disrespectful thing and whatnot and stuff. But who on the other side, in the African community, is speaking to this issue? Other than Jenny, I ain't hear nobody else talk about it really. So, but 9 day wonder, you know, Jenny will, as she said, will continue to keep the fire lit. But clearly, other persons of African descent who went there saw no problem with it.
Thank God I didn't go. I really didn't want to see that. I didn't just want to see it in the papers if they put it up to nothing. But that nonsense, man. That is nonsense. And everybody, everybody's quick to say, boy, you're too touchy.
Yes.
But when the tables turn, them ain't too touchy, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you all up in your feelings? Yes, all up in my feelings. All the way up in my feelings. That is a big disrespect. Clearly.
Time and place.
Yeah, come on. Come on. And don't even tell me nothing about tourism.
Yeah.
Don't talk that nonsense. You're playing me for a fool, because if this is the emancipation platform, the tourists will understand that this is the emancipation platform.
Correct. Yeah.
Caller, good morning.
Yes, Bruce. I am offended also because they could have a poster, Dr. Williams, Dr. George Michael Chambers, Dr. Patrick Mulvey, man in the boot, instead of Templar. You was watching, you know?
Yeah.
We have to identify ourselves in these times. Emancipate is a state of mind. Babylon take off the chains, but they use them brains. It's a state of mind. We must be victorious mindfully. We must get the message mindfully. We are better than all. Read your holy book. Rastafari, my shepherd, I shall never want. Give thanks and praise, Bruce and Dominic.
Yeah, man. So, guys, that's all the time we have for today. It was a pleasure being in your company. It was a pleasure having you in ours. I will return here tomorrow. Please go out with the lovely Miss Sharon Felix and Dominic, and I will be back on Thursday. So, Dominic, any closing remarks?
No, just that people, enjoy your day. Those of us who just coming off of this long weekend, I hope that you were well rested.
You're right.
Yeah, and we will, God's willing, we will see. Well, it's some people.
Let me just say, on behalf of LG Promotion, your GT was a whole movie last night. We had a ball on the embassy. I'm going to sleep.
But any of our listeners who are celebrating birthdays today, happy birthday to you. Not everybody follows me on Facebook, so for those whose friend requests have accepted so far, when it pops up, I will make mention. I mean, I have hundreds of friend requests still to go through, Bruce, because I know some of these people, they just, So I sort of vet it first before I accept. So if you send me one and I accept it, understand that's the reason why. Eh?
Ask them to delete.
Yeah. It just has some who just like tobacco.
So, Dominic, as we say,
ciao.
Talk to you guys later. Keep it locked to the Street 909 FM. We out of here.
Are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Thursday from 10:05 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. for the program Straight and Narrow, The Way of Life, The Health Store, being brought to you by Mrs. Arlene Collins Mohammed. For more information, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow, or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene for Life. You can also call or WhatsApp at 309-4697 or 620-9379.
In Trinidad and Tobago, there are so many things to talk about. Social issues, injustice, child abuse, domestic violence, political scandals, and much more. On HOTP, we will cover all that and much more. Don't forget, you can catch us every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Hot off the press. Hot topics, no filter.
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT.
Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody.
Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
Hot Off the Press presents Aisha Wells' Birthday Bash. Come celebrate with Aisha on board the Embassy on August 13th. Boarding at the Hyatt Waterfront from 6:30 p.m. sharp. Featuring an all-star DJ cast. We're going to have a good time celebrating with Aisha.
You're on board. We're talking about my birthday bash.
For tickets and more information, call Robert at 333-2181. Ulu at 730-3665.
It's my birthday. That's what we're talking about. Happy birthday to you.
Episodes. The Kuna Cruise. Aboard the Sea Champion. King's Wharf, San Fernando. Saturday, July 30th. Boarding 11 p.m. Sailing 12 midnight. General tickets $250. Early bird $200. And ladies, limited edition of 2 ladies on 1 ticket for $350. Bringing the vibe and energy to you. Anwadi Juggler, Richard Trumpet, and Brothers in Sound. Live performance by Optimistic. Party bus from Watersfield. Pass at 9:30 p.m. For more info, WhatsApp 768-8182, 706-7130 or 317-3541. Fully endorsed by Evolution Creations and Stamina Promotions.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check out the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Law and You every Friday evening from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live on the Street 919 FM, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He had showeth thee, O main, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. In the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For further information, call 753-1133 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com. We now take you to our live broadcast with Pastor Morris Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly.
Gotta keep the gun before the storm. I don't want less, I don't want more. Must fight the windows and the doors to keep me safe, to keep me warm. Yeah, my life is what I'm fighting for. Can buy the sea, can reach the shore. And my voice becomes the driving force. I won't let it pull me overboard. Gotta keep my head. I'm a wood that don't let me drown. It gets harder, I'll meet you there. And you turn as I fall down to my knees. Don't let me drown, drown, drown. Don't let me drown. So pull me up from down below, 'cause I'm underneath the undertow. Come dry me off and hold me close.
1 John 1, verses 8 and 9.
If we say that we have no sin, if we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves. If we say that we have no sin, if we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we say that we have no sin, if we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves. If we say that we have no sin.
All right, so wherever you are this morning, welcome. It is God's morning to you wherever you are. On God's earth, welcome to the Old Time Gospel, our family radio ministry. It's the morning when we have the law on you, so we will be right back.
Simpson's Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpson's Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko in Sangre Grande, for the old-time gospel hour family radio ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., to the children's hour worship ministry of the Word, and the family forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., the Law and You, and every Friday evening from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
And that is what we encourage the population, the people who involved with those illegal activities. As a church, as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, as someone who loves God's creation, we encourage you to give it up. Give it up. For your own good, for the good of your loved ones, for the good of humanity. Please give it up. All right, so this morning it is my voice a little sore, all night Friday night, from 9 p.m. to 5 Saturday morning, then Sunday 5 hours, and then yesterday from just about minutes to 9 until after 3. So you could understand a lot on the voice, and that is only ministry. All right, but I am thankful to the Lord to be able to be here this morning and do what I love and to do it to the best of my ability. So this morning, it is my privilege once again to present to you the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service as they continue to highlight and help us to better understand the law. And we call it the Law and You, where we are speaking this morning with Corporal Greenwich. God's morning to you, son. Welcome.
Pleasant morning to you, sir. Pleasant morning, Trinidad and Tobago. A pleasure as usual to be here.
All right. Well, you're in the hot seat this morning. So I'm ready. All right, I know you're ready. You're in the same zone like me, the eastern zone. So yes, you have to be ready once you're in the east. So it is my privilege, sir, to introduce you this morning, and we thank God for the TTPS and the executive, and you are with us this morning to share on
police clubs and community-based initiatives where the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is concerned.
All right, so it's all yours for the next 20 minutes. So let's go.
Okay, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. As indicated, I am Acting Corporal Kevin Greenwich. I'm presently attached to the Community-Oriented Policing Section, the SU in charge of the Community Policing Unit in Northern Division based in Maloney Police Station. I'm also the leader of the Orapun Police Youth Club. I came from operational background in policing, having served on the Interagency Task Force, Northeastern Task Force, Border Swing Task Force, K9 Unit, Highway Patrol, and so on. And to be honest, at this point in my career, it is the most impactful and even the most difficult period in terms of time. It is very easy to arrest, charge, and put someone before the court. It is a little more challenging, and it takes a little more commitment to dedicate yourself to reconditioning the minds of the person instead of literally watching them become criminals. Right, so our focus and emphasis in community-oriented policing unit is to prevent the disease before you have to treat it. In that, engage with the community and the young people before they begin to focus on criminal and nefarious activities. Right, there's the old cliche that an ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. And that is the angle in which the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is focused on via our units. Right. Presently, the superintendent in charge of the units is Superintendent Ramkilawan, Subhash Ramkilawan, who is also himself a police club leader, and who can also attest to the fact that we in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service are moving away from policing for the people and more emphasizing on policing with the people, so that your pain is our pain, your concerns are our concerns, so we treat it together rather than we imposing our will or our values on John public. So it is a partnership instead of one party imposing their value on the other. Right? To do this, our focus is on several community-based initiatives, several youth-based initiatives through the youth clubs, and using several different theories and models that are impactful and fruitful within the communities. It is a more intimate relationship with the community than just sitting in the station waiting a report to treat with the report, because we are mandated to be in the community on a daily basis, walking the ground, engaging residents, hearing their concerns, and seeing how we could come together and focus on solution-based initiatives. One aspect of solution-based initiatives that we focus on is called CPTED, CPTED. It's crime prevention through environmental design, where we focus on various areas within the community that might be inclined to encourage nefarious criminal activities. It might be a robbery zone because it's dark, it's dismal, it's lonely, and it encourages that sort of behavior to take place, right? And as we are aware, most criminal crime is usually a situation of opportunity in Trinidad and Tobago, where criminals look for the low-hanging fruits, easy targets to ply their trade. So what we would do is identify various areas like these in your community, partner with various stakeholders, be it the regional corporation, private sector, residents, the public, and transform the look, the environment in which that situation may be occurring, and make it less attractive for criminality. So if it's a situation with lighting, and we can find a way to ensure that it's well lit, if it's dismal and dirty, we find a way to enhance the outlook and beautify it so that it is less attractive for criminals to ply their trade. Right? That is also taken from the broken window theory. If we fix a situation in the right time, it would not come back to bite us in the future. Right? We also emphasize on youth-based initiatives where we focus on utilizing sport, the arts, culture, academics, 7 pillars, spirituality, Christian, to ensure that our young people have an excellent foundation that will take them safely into adulthood. So like the European Police Recruitment specifically is known for sport and the arts. We have an excellent music program where young members learn theory and the practical. In music, they play from instruments that they never thought they would be able to or access, such as violins, trumpets, trombones, clarinets, and stuff like that. And they also must be able to read music. We have established a youth band, giving young people an avenue in which they can express themselves, 1, 2, exposing them to different aspects of activities. So at some point they may find their passion, and in finding their passion, they can now utilize it to propel a career in their adult life. Basically, that is what we do at community-oriented policing section. It is policing with the people and not for the people.
All right, so
I hope. Hello.
Yeah, you took just about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I just open in case you may have a question or two that you want to ask.
All right.
So I can
so how long
elaborate a bit.
How long the daily vacation? How long the camp started?
All right. Our camp presently, our camp actually today is the first day of our camp.
All right.
Right, and our camp is focused on sport and the arts this year. The camp runs from the 2nd, which is today, to the 26th of August. And we also have an aspect of it where we are teaching our young people etiquette as well, where they're learning to proper table manners, how to walk, how to speak, how to articulate themselves, everything where etiquette is concerned. The focus is, of course, that after this month, we have such an impact on them that they can teach their peers and, really change the way we carry about ourselves within the community and so on.
Very good. So, how much children you expect, and what are the ages?
All right, well, the camp is catering for 100 participants. We are up to 75 this morning. I don't know if you hear any background a bit noisy.
Yes.
Here, and it runs from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Wow.
Some of the sports that the members would be exposed to as well is hockey, table tennis, football, basketball, cricket, netball, swimming.
So you all you have all that facilities right there?
Right. The swimming is done in Maloney, right? And we partnered with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, who manages the public pool in Maloney, Mr. Madu and his team over there, to have some of the members of the camp assigned to that swimming program as part of the camp experience.
So I could join?
Right. Each Friday they will be taken as a facilitator, sure. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
But we don't ever exclude any member of the public who sees an avenue in which they could participate or assist. That speaks of policing for the people. Everybody within a community do in fact have a part to play in the development and growth of their community, right? So in this aspect of policing, you are in fact required to engage with all the faces, personality and places within a community with the view of making it better, having that partnership and that relationship that would foster public trust, where people don't just see you as the policeman in the community, but the policeman that we can speak to, we can share with the policeman that understands and will give us a hearing. And that will offer a better relationship with John Public, which will see more results in terms of policing, right? Once we conducted an experiment in theater, where we asked some young members to pretend they were police officers, or to play out the role at how they see police officers. And it was an eye-opener. It was alarming to see that what their perception of a police officer and policing is, right? And I think coming out of that, it was identified that we need to change the demo, we need to change the narrative. We need to really ensure that John Public is fully aware as to all aspects of policing, and not just the aspect of kicking down a door or locking up somebody or fighting or hearing somebody screaming or little wicked, right? And in community-oriented policing, this is our main focal point.
Very good. So,
so if you're willing to come and assist, we would, of course, we'll take you. You're from a community, within a community, and therefore you'll have something to offer.
Thank you. So the children ages from what age?
All right, so the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Youth Club, we follow the United Nations mandate as to what the definition of a youth. And presently, their definition says 5 to 29 years old. Right?
Yes.
So if they have about 4 more conventions, I may be considered a youth at some point, because the age keep going up.
I tell you.
Right? But our camp caters for 5 to 19.
Very good, very good. And congratulations. You know, every year, basically, we do daily vacation Bible school. But this year, for the past 2 years, this is going to be third year that we have not done anything, you know. And it's something I always look forward for with the young ones. You know, it's a joy to bring them to the church, to transport them, to see them on the buses, to see them, you know, do their craft, to see them when time for playing. The list goes on and on, the refreshment time. So yes, it's really, and you see, the reason for this, I believe, is because I give my heart to the Lord at the age of 7 years. That is 60 years ago. So you find that I relate to children a lot because I grew up in Sunday school, I grew up in church, and give my life at an early age. So you find that have never left me. The purpose why, you know, God called me and why Jesus said, suffer the little children to come to him, you know. So
to come unto me.
Yes. Yeah. So you find that in Psalm 127, God says that children are God's heritage. So I mean, yes, he allow parents to bring them in the world, but it's really him. You know, you said you have 3.
Yes, I have 3 children. With 3 offspring, because I have 2 young adults and 1 child. Right. I have a 22-year-old. Who's presently focused on her BSc in nursing, my 19-year-old son, and I have a 15-year-old daughter. Right. All of whom literally grew up within the police club fraternity, and I'm very proud of the people they are becoming. Right. As with any home, you know, there's a period where you face challenges with your children and so on. But from a biblical perspective, the Bible says once you ensure that you train up the child where they go, they will not depart from it, right? The story of the prodigal son, the reason why the prodigal son was able to return is because the foundation was good.
Yes.
And at some point, your children would remember their teachings and return to it.
Very good.
Right? I am very proud at the point where my children are. And not just my biological children, but I've been with the Oropun Police Club for the past 6 years. At that point, we had some 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds who registered and joined the club, who are now 19, 20-year-olds. And we are very proud to see them working. They encourage younger ones now. They doing a lot with themselves and with their community, right? And I think if we continue to focus on the youth and of course the 7 pillars, which include spirituality, our country and the whole will be in a better place. Oropun Garden specifically went from being a known hotspot to being denounced recently as a hotspot. We are no longer considered a hotspot because of the drastic decrease in criminal and nefarious activities within the community, right? And that would have come from the hard work of the district stations, Aruka Station, Piaco Station, the senior soups that would have past and present, Mr. Rampal is presently there, and all the work that we have put in, again, using the aspect of policing with the people, right? So once we as a people focus on our youth, our young people, the heritage of the Lord, you find that the change will come incrementally in time.
Yes, and it is so important. And you know, those good news, the media don't carry those good news. Only here you get that, eh? So I want you to know
and
that.
We appreciate that. We appreciate the fact that you are here really flying the flag and displaying the good work of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Yes, I count it a privilege, and we as a ministry count it a privilege because we realize that is what is lacking, you know, in the country. Yes. Only the bad thing you see on the front page. They show a woman in a swimming in alcohol, but they don't show when the man is drunk and beating up his wife and all these different things. You know, the negatives. No. So it is important that we emphasize that yes, in our country, you know, because there are those who just want to push that our country is nothing good and that is only crime-rid, and the list goes on and on. But here we are hearing on a Tuesday morning what is happening with the police service in our communities, because all of us come from communities. I mean, I live in Malabar, and I'm telling you, man, since we have been here, You know, I mean, people know when they're in trouble who to go to. You understand? And we are treated with such respect and all the rest of it. All because of my wife and myself, since we came here some 30-something years ago, you know, to recognize that God is number one, and we try our best to reach out to the neighbors. We don't go to people's house, you know, but we reach out to them, and all they do is to see when we in and out. You know, because we realize that if you're going to have relationship, it's not to hot up people's house, but try to be neighbors, friends to them, you know, they're in trouble or whatever, you assist in whatever way you can. But the whole thing is to reach out and see how best you can assist people, especially in the time of need. And when they need, they know who to turn to. So, you know, you all must be commended for what you all are doing with the young ones and in seeing the lives of the people change. Because I'm very clear in my mind when a certain young lady spoke about what was happening in her house and, you know, some of the problems that was happening in her own. So, yes, to Jesus be all the honor and all the glory. And thank you all very much. So let's pay some bills, officer, and we come right back.
Thank you.
That sound like a deal?
Yes, that's fine. I'm here.
Thank you.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers, a full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago, and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waco in Sangre Grande, for the Old-Time Gospel Hour all-night prayer, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah chapter 6 verse 8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and walk humbly with God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank, account number 795-222, will be greatly appreciated. For further information, call 753-1113 or 236-7271. You can also email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Yes, when trouble in your life, what do? You sing praises. There are two times to praise God, when you feel like and when you don't feel like it. At this time, we take you back to the police forum, the law and you, with the police, Trinidad and Tobago, TTPS. All right, Mr. Corporal Greenwich with us this morning, co-hosting with Pastor Johnson. And we give you the opportunity to call in and to ask a question or a comment. And just before we do that, Officer Greenwich, anything else you want to say? You got to unmute. I did mute you because I was getting some noise in the background. So you have to unmute. Unmute one. Right, thank you. Yes.
Morning. No, I think the callers will ask questions that will cover anything else that I may have missed out.
All right.
When you were speaking about VBS and the experience in VBS, I grew up in church. And I think the highlight of August holidays and Carnival was both VBS and Carnival camps.
Yes.
And the church would take us everyone had some of the most memorable, life-changing times I had. And I think one of the things we do with the Police Youth Club is implement the best working practices from our youth, what was impactful in that. So for the Easter gone, we had 67, we started with 67 campers at Victory Heights, and for 6 days and 5 nights. And by the time the camp was over, there were over 90 campers up there. And it was a life-changing experience for most of them, to the extent that they want that next year again. Right? So we use these things as incentives to have them, okay, so if you behave for the entire year and you do what you need to require of you, you will be rewarded with a camp. And these things really work. They're really effective in terms of youth engagement, positive youth engagement, and the reconditioning of the mind of the youth.
All right. So thank you for that information. So the children stay in or they go and come every day?
All right. This specific camp in August, they go home. It's 8 to 4 because it's 4 weeks.
Yes.
But usually when we come to the Easter, it's a sleep-in camp.
All right.
Right? So it comprises of basically everything other camps have. You'll have issues with what they call mushing or pacing. They have team building exercises and so on. Most of the activities are highlighted on social media so that the public can in fact see what we do and how we do it, in order to really build that positive relationship with the youth and the police, community and the police as well.
Very good. All right. So people, you have heard. You have an opportunity now. We have put Officer Greenwich in the hot seat for you to ask him any question. Any question that concern you based on what we have been discussing. And the numbers are 240-1234. That's 240-1234 or 753-1113, 753-1113 or 737-4673. WhatsApp call 737-4673. So we go to the phone line. Caller, you on the air. God's morning. Welcome.
Think about part of what there was last to you all. I want to know to have more mobile units because when the UNC came in power, the first thing she did was move it, and I believe that was the most amount of murders was in Laventille. And then I could also say about the Kobo and the, I think it's a
all right, La Hokita. La Hokita, thank you. Next caller, you're on the air. God's morning, welcome.
Good morning to you, Pastor Johnson, and what's the name of the
Officer Greenwich.
Officer Greenwich, this is Agnes and the listening public. I'm doing a little late, but I got enough. And one thing I like what the officer...
Is it that you know, is it that you know, now arrived from Sangre Grande from yesterday?
No, what happened, I was doing something.
No problem, no problem, go ahead.
Okay, and pun intended. And what I like what the officer said, that they were open enough to ask the young people to demonstrate to them what they thought of the police. You know, they didn't go on in just with their opinion of themselves as police, but they wanted to get the pulse of the young people in as far as their policing is concerned. They were able to make the necessary changes and so on. I like that, what he said they did. You know, and congratulations to them and the good work with the police. You club, I'm always so interested in what they have to say they are doing with the young people.
Yes.
And God continue to bless them in all their endeavors with those who...
And you know, Sister Ann, this is why we open the lines to hear what you all have to say about the police, all right? Just like how the question. Yes, thank you. And thanks for yesterday. Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.
Oh, welcome.
Yes. 240-1234. Caller, you on the air. God's morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Calling from Deep South, Santa Clara.
Welcome.
I compliment the officer for his good work with the youth.
Yes.
And his progress in their life.
Yes.
And input.
Thank you.
Now, our community
we have a lot of strange youth in our community. And the youth who grow up in this community just mix with those who come from outside the community. And there is where all the troublemakers just gang up together. Now we have a tennis court in the community. Young footballers, they just come and practice. After practice, they just remain liming all hours of the night. Now we have bad lighting in the community, and the playground is a disgrace to the people in the community.
So you have a
because they drag down all the fence wires around the community playground, the little room that when they have function, the door rip out, and the place is really nasty and disgraceful.
So Santa Flora,
Yes.
Two things. One, you all should contact your representative in the area and let them know how you all feel about it. And two, do you have a question for the police? I know you congratulate him already. Do you have a question? No?
Well, my question is, I would like them to have a police authority complaint service attached to the police station. That when we have complaints, we will be able to get a hearing, because very often they always dealing with situation
all right.
outside.
Because of time, Santa Flora, we will allow him to address the issue just now. All right?
All right, but I like them to have a complaint authority in the area, in the community, where we could go with our complaint and get proper service.
Thank you very much, Santa Flora. God bless you, Mom. Next caller, you're on the air. God's morning. Welcome.
God's morning to you, Pastor Johnson.
Welcome, sis.
And also to Corporal Greenwich. I want to thank you, Pastor Johnson, for your prayers and intercession in behalf of this nation. To you, Officer Greenwich, I want to thank you and your team for your hard work, dedication, and commitment to turn communities around. Officer Greenwich, do you have a contact number that parents can contact you at? 1, 2, do you take children from a youth from Valentine, Current, St. Joseph, and so on? And you know, the devil always finds work for idle hands. I am hearing from a particular friend of the family where a young one is involved in vaping and all these things which can damage your lungs and do harm to your bodies and so on, and maybe lead on to maybe drugs and other substances. So I can depend on you for an intervention. The parents want to reach out. I thank you. I will listen off air. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you. Next caller, you're on the air. God's morning. Welcome.
Morning, Pastor Duncan.
Welcome.
And Sister Agnes and the officer and others. Do they have a youth club in Pleasantville during the holiday and morning time?
All right, so he's going to answer. He's making notes of all these things, I believe, but we want to take as much calls as possible. All right?
Yeah, Pleasantville morning.
Yes, God bless you, Mom. Thank you. Continue to take your calls on 240-12347. All right, caller, you on the air. God's morning. You got to turn the volume on your radio down, caller, and listen to us on the phone, please. Caller, you're welcome. God's morning.
Hello?
God's morning.
Good morning to Pastor Johnson and Corporal Greenwich.
Yes.
I am so pleased to hear what the police service is doing, but I want to recommend two things. One, we have observed that there are a lot of children in the community who cannot read nor write, and these children are going to secondary schools, cannot read and write. I'm wondering if the police service can get some retired teachers to bring into these centers. We have a lot of empty community centers, and help these children, because these are the children who are going to be future criminals because they cannot read and write. I understand from Laventil, one of the fathers said to the police, sir, this kind of life we do not want for our children, but we cannot read and write. Two, I want to recommend that the police service go in street by street and find out who are the students there who are not going to school, and ensure that we can find some kind of provision to help these children. Education is a very important part to play in the understanding and any other thing you want to teach. So at least if they can read and do some arithmetic, we'll have a better society. Education must be stressed upon.
Well,
thank you.
Well said. What are you calling us from?
Aruka.
Aruka. Thank you very much, Aruka. Well said. Well said. Thank you very much. All right. So, Officer Greenwich, you want to speak a little bit on some of those topics that you've heard, and then we're going to take some more calls.
Sure. With regards to the person from Santa Flora, right, I'm proud to always acknowledge and identify that I was born and bred and grew up in South. I'm a proud student of the St. Benedict's College, Laramine. I lived in Labray for a time and Aripero Village, Rusilak. So I'm somewhat familiar with the Santa Flora, Siparia area there. What can be done with regards to the tenants court, as I was indicating earlier, is that we in the police service tend to partner with other stakeholders and do what we call SEPTED projects, crime prevention through environmental design. And that specific area sounds like a nice initiative that can be done with the neighboring police clubs. I know that there's WPC Gibbs who runs the Siparia Police Club close by. There's the Oropuch Police Club, DB, and those that are close by in Southwestern Division there that could probably partner with you all to seek out stakeholders who are willing to assist in giving that area a facelift. And that by itself would assist in the in minimizing the nefarious activities that is taking place. The person also highlighted the fact that a lot of new faces are appearing in their communities and encouraging their young people in negative activities. And from my history, I would suggest parenting is the key to this. I remember being about 15, 16, moving into Aripero for the first time and getting involved with two crowds. One was the good boys, one was the bad boys. But from the time that the good parents realized that, hey, this boy mixing up with the other boys in an area we call the alley, whenever I come to the line with the good boys, they would disappear because each parent would call their child home. And it made me feel real bad that you come to line with your friends and you can't line with them because of the activities you're involved in. And that by itself fostered a change in my life. So we need positive and active parenting to assist even in the fight against crime where that's concerned. Right? For the lady that called from QREP, my contact number is 384-8256. 384-8256. I am always ready, willing, and able to assist any youth in need throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. However, I do not do it alone. We have several police club leaders who are just as committed throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So we always advise that people get involved in the club closest to their community, as it it assists your community. Police club leaders always need assistance and support, as well as it eliminates the challenges that come with traveling and all these things, right? One of the things we do focus on in the police clubs is, in fact, literacy and numeracy, which is required in the foundation of the development of any youth. And to do so, we partner with people like the Butler Institute, Miss Ife and her team in Butler Institute. We partner with Alta and other, and of course, you can identify as the person indicated, retired teachers and so on who are willing to give back, right? Sometimes the leader may not be aware that there are in fact persons who are willing to do so. So you can reach out to and share experience and offer your services to assist, because again, our mantra is policing with the people, and everybody have some resource or some skill that can be utilized in the proactive approach to crime prevention. There is a police club in Pleasantville that has recently been relaunched and is revamped. The person in that youth club is WPC Archer. I will in fact have a conversation with her and tell her that, there are persons interested in highlighting and supporting the club in that Pleasantville area. Because of the way I grew up is why I'm very passionate about what I do. And I lived all over South. So Monrepo is close to my heart, Pleasantville is close to my heart, Princestown, Siparia, Labre, Aripero, Santa Flora, all these areas and so on. Right, so we are doing our part. You can use the number, and I in fact will do my best to direct you to the closest club in your area to render assistance. Hi. I hope I would have answered all the questions and addressed all the comments at this time.
All right. I know a caller from St. James. She spoke what it was about, man. All right. All right, Sister Carol, if the officer did not address your concern, please call back. All right, so we have just about 8 minutes, people. So if you want, you have to call very quick, short to the point. Before we close off here this morning, I want to remind you that this ministry, to do what we do here, you need your financial support. Caller, you on the air. God's morning, welcome.
For pictures and the officer on the program, on the platform this morning, I just came in, I went out. But I pick up a few little things. Now, what happened is that I heard about a father who mentioned that he cannot read and write, and his children, he don't want his children to suffer the consequence. But when I look back and see when they had sent up all children into secondary school and said education for all, it was always education for all. But those children suffer the consequence by they send those children from Diego Martin, the East-West Corridor, to Carapachina Secondary School for slow learners. And they did not pay out. Most of those children have dropped off from the school system. And these are the children who suffer the consequence today.
All right.
God bless you.
Thank you very much, Malik. All right, so Sister Carol, you got to be short because you have another caller. Go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you. Yes, officer did give me a contact number. And also I want him to address in his youth camps and youth forums the ill effects of vaping and going on to drugs and all these things that somebody crazy seeing. I know it can be a natural head. It has to be under the influence of something. Yes. So vaping, which the state figure is an easy, simple thing, leads to harm to the body and to lead to harder drugs. I see it in CNN with the young people in the U.S. and all over.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Our final caller, God's morning to you. Welcome.
Yes. Like Japan with about 2 or 3 police or how much all I don't have that again?
He will answer you, all right? Thank you very much. All right, she said the vehicle that goes around with just 2 or 3 police in it, if you don't have it again. All right, but we have another caller too. Caller, you on the air. Please go ahead. Welcome.
Good morning, Pastor Johnson, and good morning to the guy, the police.
The officer.
Guy. Officer, I am for clarity. What school did you say you went to? College? What college?
St. Mary's College in Army.
That's right. Thank you very much. I was here in the house arguing with me and say you said St. Mary's. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. She had to get the argument out of the house. Yes, thank you. All right, thank you. All right, so Officer Greenwich, you did well, and go ahead.
I want to address the last few calls.
Yes.
There is a challenge with our education system, and in identifying that challenge, we focus on academia in most instances in the education system. What we do at the Police Youth Club is expose children not only the academics, because we all can't be engineers, physicists, doctors, and lawyers, but we expose them to other avenues that they can find their passion through theater, music, the arts, vocational skills, and so on, that they may find something that even well, in the Open Police Youth Club, we have a small podcast station. This is where I'm speaking to you from presently, where they learn announcing, they learn script reading, they learn ad reading. We expose them to so much that we hope they find their passion and they can use that now to propel a career, because we all are not academically inclined, right? But we force to be in a system that speaks 80-90% of academia. So we understand that plight, and in proper youth development and engagement, we are seeking alternatives in assisting our youth, right? That does not negate the fact that a basic education in terms of literacy and numeracy is very important and ought to be mandatory, right? We live in the most shabby, the person who spoke about the drugs from St. James, Charles, I believe. We live in the most difficult time to be a youth. They are exposed to so much that we weren't in our generation, that it's very difficult for them to make the right choices and right challenges and face the challenges they face. The internet, social media, the exposure of numerous various types of drugs all makes it very challenging, even more challenging for them now than we were. And that is very important for us as the adults to really focus on being their shepherds, right? I think God in his infinite wisdom would have ensured that as children, we don't just creep out of our mother's womb and go away, but we are in fact required to at least have 18 years of shepherding and training from our adults, our parents, our guidance to develop us and create us into the adults we are required to be, right? Yes, we do have patrols still taking place. Recently, there was an ad where the commissioner has been highlighting the impact of foot patrol within the communities and within the Port of Spain district and so on, having a positive impact on the crime situation. Right, so I think I covered everything there with regards to the last set of callers.
All right, so take 30 seconds and just bring it in, or take 1 minute and bring it in.
All right, so again, I want to encourage all of Trinidad and Tobago to get involved in the fight against crime. You do not have to put on boots. You do not have to be a firearm to assist in the fight against crime. If we see something, we can utilize the TPS app. We can do it by basically being good law-abiding citizens and being that change, right? If we focus on the man in the mirror initially, we would have the impact we want outwardly throughout Trinidad and Tobago, right? Again, it's a pleasure to be here, Pastor, and thank you for, of course, always highlighting what the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is doing on behalf of the Commissioner, the Assistant Commissioner, Mr. Collis Hazel, and our Superintendent, Mr. Subhashram Kirawan. I want to say thank you for the opportunity, and I would like all of you all to encourage us as we focus on making Trinidad and Tobago safe.
Amen to that, and probably you could just give the number one more time.
My number is 384-8256. 384-8256.
Well, people, there you have it. Officer Greenwich this morning in the hot seat. He'll tell me after he say, Pastor, that wasn't so hot as I thought, you know. but we thank God for you, officer, and for what God is doing through you all, and we continue to give you all 100% support to see Trinidad and Tobago become a better place. Not a failed state, but a better place. That is God's plan. And with God's help, and you all doing what you all do best, we'll be able to see this happen. The world didn't build in a day. It took God 6 days. You know, and we thank God that he in all his wisdom, you know, because people grow up with all sort of isms and they get involved in it, and sometimes it take over a period of time to get rid of it. But we are getting rid of it one at a time. And thank you very much. You have a wonderful day in Jesus' name, and we will catch up like tomato.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Again, thanks for having us.
Yes, welcome. So you have been listening. Yes, thank you. So you have been listening to the Old Time Gospel, our family radio station here with Sky 99.5 FM and the Street 91.9 FM. Do join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Sky, and on Friday evening on the Street 9 p.m. People, thank you very much for choosing the Old Time Gospel Hour. Please go out and support it. We need your financial support by going to the First Citizen Bank in your area. The account is in the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day in Jesus' name.
This concludes the live broadcast with Pastor Morris Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. See you next week, and God bless.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check out the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Law and You every Friday evening from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live on the Street 919 FM, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He had showeth thee, O main, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. In the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For further information, call 753-1133 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the Street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the Street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845, 349-5178, or 342-7303.
Tune into the Street 91.9 FM
every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
for the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinal Thomas.
The scripture says, and they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in.
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the Street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
better vision for your physical.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a